Welcome back, Taverners. How are we all doing? It is Egypt against Australia. How are we all doing? My name is Key. We have got another big FIFA World Cup knockout watch-along. And this one, again, not entirely sure what to make. You can't really make an awful lot of these knockout rounds now because none of us have predicted correctly most of the ones we've seen. Spain, yes, fair enough. Belgium and Senegal, I think everyone expected Senegal to go through, certainly at 2-0 up. I think everyone expected Germany to sail past Paraguay, breeze past Paraguay. That didn't quite work out. And yeah, it's been a fascinating tournament. And so far, Egypt and Australia, probably two countries who, let's be honest, don't often qualify for World Cups, let alone qualify and make the knockout round. So they've massively benefited from an inflated tournament and an extended sort of third place qualifying. So it should be a big opportunity for both countries, given the favourable draw they have to be able to sneak through into the next round. Gets a little bit tougher after this though. But before we get stuck into the game, I do want to give a big shout out to our friends Oxford Natural. Oxford Natural continuing to support the Matchday Tavern throughout the World Cup. If you haven't yet, please do go and show them some love. You can click the link in the description. You can also scan the QR code which is on screen right now and go and check out the wonderful products, including the amazing Optimum Day and Night supplements, which are helping people like Robbie from AFTV, people like Michael Owen, people like KG, people like the lady on the left, or the lady on the... I'd never know which side. It's this side, I'm sure it is. It's my left, your right. Get fantastic results. And if you're thinking of making some positive health changes, if you're thinking of kick-starting your health journey, then go and check out Optimum Day, which helps you with your craving, gives you energy and keeps you on track. Optimum Night, which helps you sleep, reset, rest, recover. And all of that is mega important for achieving the lovely svelte second picture that you're seeing right there. And yeah, if you do want to go and check them out, code KEY70 gets you 70% off your first order. No magic pill, no magic fix. There is no such thing with these things, but if you do want to go and check it out, then go and show Oxford Natural some love, and a big thank you to them. With that said, now we can get stuck into our live for tonight. Well, we've got two lives tonight. Obviously, we've got Argentina, Cape Verde later on, but we can get stuck into the lineups now. Okay, so lineups. This one is, am I right in saying this one is on ITV, is it? Is it ITV? No, it's BBC, isn't it? BBC One. You can watch along with me if you so choose. Hopefully you will. There we go. And we can take a look at the lineups. The lineups are as follows. For Australia, it's Patrick Beach in goal. Alice, don't worry, I won't do the Egyptian accent after. Just do the Aussie accent. Patrick Beach in goal, Alessandro Cercati, Harry Sutar, Lucas Harrington, and Jordan Boss. Is Jordan Boss? Jordan Boss is a left back, isn't he? Where are they? Let's take a look at how they're actually shaping up here, because from what I'm seeing, it's a 3-5-2 for the Socceroos. Is it indeed, though? Is that how it's going to pan out? Let's have a look. I I think it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's Harrington, Sakati, Shootout as a back three. Then it's Boss on the right. It's Boss on the right. And Behich, is it, on the... Yeah, Aziz Behich on the left. In midfield, you've got O'Neill and Jackson Irvine. Jackson Irvine at St. Pauli these days, formerly of Hull City. Did have a spell at Ross County, Burton, Celtic. He's in midfield alongside Aidan O'Neill. Again, another former English midfielder. You might remember him from a brief spell at Fleetwood. He might have played at Oldham as well, Aidan O'Neill. And then you've got Volpato and Metcalf as the two number 10s, just behind Nestori Irankunda, the undisputed star of Australian football. Still only 20 years of age. Watford signed him from Bayern Munich. 8 goals and assists last year in 40 appearances, but also a bit of a reputation for a fiery temper. I think that would be fair to say. He got 12 yellows and a red in 40 games, so he's getting booked every other game. This fella, he's a hothead. You definitely need to calm him down. Might be a good value for a card today. Nestori Irankunda. Let's take a look at Egypt. Egypt's team is as follows. They have gone with Ufa Shabir in goal, Mohamed Hani, Rami Rabia and Yasser Ibrahim, and Karim Havez Ramad at the back. Then you've got Fatih, Ataya Ashur, and Mustafa Mohamed. Well, Zico, that is, isn't it? In midfield. And it's Mo Salah just off Marmoush. Mo Salah is fit for the game. He was always going to make it, wasn't he? I think Mo Salah would have played through a broken leg today. He was never not going to make this game, Mo Salah. This is the biggest game in his career as far as he's concerned. It's not very often Egypt make it to a World Cup. Even less often they make it to a knockout round of the World Cup. But how are we all doing in the chat anyway? I want to get your thoughts on the various mad decisions we've seen in the World Cup over the last 24 hours. And all the news that we've seen from around the football world, whether it be apparently Liverpool going in for Mora, the young Mexican wonder kid. Obviously Tonali, Elliot Anderson. ZSMI says Australia winning tonight. Up the Roos, 4 a.m. kickoff. I'm ready. Clipstar says 1-0 to... 1-0 to Egypt, you think, in this one? Leave me alone, Mora. Yes, Mora, the young Mexican lad, is being heavily linked with Liverpool. How are we all doing in the chat, everyone? Good to see you. Ian, Aftab, Hiller, Evening Taverners. I just had a wonderful homemade lamb stifado with a nice Massi Campo Fiorine to go with it. So I'm feeling quite good. Lovely. That sounds... Wow, very, very delicious. Very upper echelons, I've got to say, for the Tavern, that, mate. Lamb stifado with a... Oh, you can't be having that watching the Tavern. Surely you've got to stick with a simple steak sandwich, maybe. No, it sounds lovely. Sounds beautiful. Well done. Jared Bowen to Chelsea, it seems. Ooh, I wouldn't have seen that one coming. 3-star, good to see you. Who else have we got in tonight? Ange to Saudi. Interesting move. Where's he gone to? Where's Saudi? Where's he going? Where in Saudi? City of Northville says the heart says Aussie, the head says Egypt. Yeah, that's kind of the way I'm leaning as well. I'd quite like to see Australia in the latter stages. I mean, I've no problem with Egypt as well, but I think it will be Egypt. I think it will be Egypt. I think for novelty, Australia getting a little bit further would be quite nice. And I do like Nestori Irankunda as well. I want to see more of him. Andy Foster, good to see you. Ake about to sign Fenerbahce. Ake about to sign for Fenerbahce from City. Dr. Faken, Egypt can get nice goals. Aussies can get scrappy goals. Give me Egypt. Good to see you, Matty. Who else have we got in tonight? Montessuts, let's go. You mullet-having bogans. How's it going, Graham? Jotta's... Key, have you seen Jotta's memorial? I have, yeah. It's beautiful. It's very, very tastefully done. Very nice. Hiller, I always make something special on Fridays. That's a nice tradition. I like that. That's a very nice tradition. I always make something special on a Friday. That's good. Yeah. Just not the usual bread and soup. That's the usual dead easy stuff. Anfield Vortex evening, Key. How are you, sir? I am very good, mate. How are you? We're off and underway here. Anfield Cup. From what I've seen with the African team so far, Australia is likely to proceed. I don't know, you know. I mean, listen, we've still got Morocco and Canada to come. Congo weren't great, admittedly. Senegal kind of threw it away. I thought, well, Congo, do you know what? No, Congo were very, very good. Congo were very, very good for large parts of the game. I think Congo do deserve a lot of credit for that performance. Again, like you said, first World Cup in whatever it was, 58 years. Credit where it's due. Montessuts, bacon and egg roll, and a Barocca, and I'm ready. That's a bit more Tavern-like. Not too bad. Spent the day in Llangollen. Oh, lovely. Now I'm back for more to stick it to the Aussies. Beautiful Llangollen. Neil, evening Key, and morning Australians. How are we all doing, folks? Are we ready for a double header tonight? We've got this one, and then we've got Argentina, Cape Verde. Can the Blue Sharks do the business against Messi and co? Morocco should stomp Canada. You would think so. How's it going, Ethan? How are we feeling, folks? How are we feeling today for this one? And how are we feeling generally? What's your thoughts? How's life? Hopefully everything is good with you and yours, whoever you are, wherever you are in the world. Sending your love, sending your positivity. Terry McDad, Team Egypt. The Pharaohs. Led by the legendary Hossam Hassan. Egypt's record scorer with 69 goals. But you'd imagine Mo Salah should break it. How many's he got so far, I think, Salah, in this tournament? Has he got one, or is it two? Is it one or two? Salah has... Surely he's only got one, hasn't he? Yeah, he's only got one. Salah's on 68 goals, so he can equal Hossam Hassan's record if he scores today, Mo Salah. He can equal the all-time Egypt's record goal scorer if he scores today. Matty, you're not doing Colombia v Ghana. Again, it's a kind of... there's a placeholder there, mate. I have got it. I just haven't got it published. I'm going to see how I feel after Argentina, Cape Verde. It's all very much dependent on how I feel at the time. If I'm tired and I'm twitchy, it's a non-starter. Health has to come first. However, if I'm good, I'm feeling good, you know me, I'm always down for it. I watched Portugal-Croatia last night. I just didn't stream it. Oh, what's he doing? Poor keeper was a little bit nervy there. Shabir was very nervy. All boxed up says Cape Verde, why not? RG's lost to Saudi last World Cup. They did indeed, yeah. No chat on screen. Oh, cheers. Sorry about that, all boxed up. Let's get it turned on. That's my fault. Anfield Vortex, in his 3 group stage games, he registered 1 goal and 2 assists. Okay, so he's 2 away from breaking the record. He's on 68 international goals versus Hossam Hassan's 69. He got 9 in qualifying, actually, Mo Salah. Here's Australia. Strike! Oh, did that hit the crossbar? Phooey, unlucky. Volpato. Christian Volpato with a lovely little turn. They just left him. What was they doing? Oh, I think it just nicks the top of the crossbar, this. Lovely strike from about 30 yards out. Keeper no chance. Shabir, yeah, he was beating all ends up there. It was dipping in. And hits the top of the crossbar and behind. We've had an early sighter from the Socceroos. Volpato off the crossbar and behind. That's good. We like it. Clips Market, thoughts on Bruno? For fuck's sake, what is it with United fans having opinions exclusively centred on United players? Christ, every time, it's dead easy to predict you United fans. First thing they say, if they come in, it's Bruno's being misused by Martinez. Kobbie Mainoo's not getting picked. Fucking hell. We not put our bloody club allegiances aside for one tournament. Christ, if it's not you lot, it's Joe coming in and saying, oh, I can't believe... Do you know what? Germany are out because they didn't pick Voltemade. They didn't pick Voltemade. Absolutely shocking. Can't believe it. It's the same guff. We're so loyal to our clubs, aren't we? We're so loyal to our clubs. I can't wait for club football to return. I mean, that's brilliant. But fucking hell. Everything is centred around that stuff. And to answer the question, I'll take it at face value. Do I think Bruno is being misused by Martinez? He's the most creative player in the world, but can't do it for Portugal. No, I don't think he is. Australia are in. Oh, Iran Kunda, so close on that one. It's going to be a corner kick to Aussies. Like it. Good start. Teddy says, bro, that was close. It was very close. Very, very close. Good run. Really, really good run forward by the Aussies. It was Jordan Boss, who we were just speaking about before kick-off. He's been a real danger man for Feyenoord, getting forward from the wings for Feyenoord this season. He's well liked in the Netherlands. All boxed up, Germany out because they were crap. Short corner from the Aussies. Good block, very good defending from Egypt. That's brilliant. Well done. Shahid Key, is today going to be a Salah masterclass, or will Australia cause a shock? Would it be that much of a shock? I mean, I do fancy Egypt to go through today, I've got to say. But so far, opening 7 minutes, who's been the best side? Australia have been all over them. They've hit the crossbar. They've applied the most pressure. I think you'd have to say that Australia have been in the ascendancy. Morris, when's the Cape Verde match? It is tonight at 11 p.m. UK time. So you've got another 4 hours or so from now. I am going to be live for it. Hit follow, hit like. I'll be live for the Argentina Cape Verde game later. Neil, I feel like I have put my club preferences aside, Key, but as soon as England is out, which, let's be honest, is probably against Mexico, we'll be back with United bullshit for you lot. Cheers for the follow, Morris. Thank you very much. 3-0 Australia, says Jerry McCringleberry. 3-0? You think there's going to be that many goals in this one? Aftab says, Key, some of my United friends have been saying we've won only 2 Premier League titles. They have zero ball knowledge. You got it right, mate. Premier League football didn't begin in the 90s, did it? It's interesting they'll count all their Premier League titles, don't they? They sing 20 times Man United. They'll count all the ones they won before 1992 or whatever it was. No problem with counting them ones. They won't count ours. What's Tolga saying? What's Tolga going for? Australia, Egypt, full-time result. Egypt to win. Double chance, Egypt or draw. Egypt could win by a comfortable margin. Yes, Tolga. Like that. Lots clearer. I like that. Never underestimate the GOAT, Irvine. He's in Germany now. Is that where you remember him from Celtic or from Hibs, maybe? I know he was at Hull for a while. Matty, just saw Liverpool are interested in Kaishu Sano. That won't happen. Yeah, that won't happen. Quick Google search will tell you we would be signing someone about as popular as Thomas Partey for similar reasons. So whatever you make of the justice system, there's I can say with 100% confidence that Liverpool won't be signing Kaishu Sano. Absolutely not. It's very rare you can name. It's very rare you can lay 100% confidence on something in football. But I'm fairly confident with that one. As confident as can be. City of Northville. The fact is, all of the United have to double their bullshit to cover for Jelly. That's true. Yeah, you guys have got to step it up. We have unbanned Jelly, by the way. I mean, I took him off the ban list, and there's not really a big ban list. Again, you've got to be doing something pretty strong to get on there. So yeah, took him off. Give him another chance. I hope he comes back. If he doesn't, then I understand it's his bag, but a very forgiving bunch. To err is human and all that. Egypt to win by a comfortable margin, says Tolga. You know what they might do with Mohamed Shabir taking chances like that one. Anfield Vortex, have you heard the Mexico team? You reposted my thingy, didn't you? You reposted my video. I did a video about that. Although I've removed it because it's mentioned that specific word. And that's why I'm not going to say it during the stream. But yeah, I have taken that video down. I thought it was quite a good video as well. I thought it was quite informative. But yeah, because it mentions that specific thing, taking it down because you could see, like, I've got one short on like 250,000, nearly 300,000 views just in the last 24 hours. And that short has got like 600, 700. I think it's because you've got that specific thing in there. How's it going, sir? Adam, nice to see you, mate. Free kick for Egypt, their first foray into the Australia half. Guilty Spark. Key, who would you say is England's best ever left-back after Ashley Cole? Best ever left-back after Ashley Cole. Ooh. It's tough, that, because... Here we go. Let's throw that out to the crowd. England's best ever left-back after Ashley Cole. Saka, definitely. Callum says Baines. Yeah, listen, like, Leighton Baines is definitely up there, and probably not for England, though. Strike, good effort, edge of the box. Good block from Australia. Egypt keep coming forward. Good ball in, good chance, and it's 1-0. It's there. It's a lovely, lovely goal. It's Hassan Assor again. It's him again. It's that fella again. He's popped up with a few big goals in this tournament, and it is 1-0 to Egypt. The Pharaohs take the lead. Hashem Assor of Al Ahly sticks it in. Lovely, lovely header at the back stick. And it's really the first attack that Egypt have had. The first time they've gone forward. And they've put it in the bottom corner. Lovely, lovely goal. Luke Shaw, when he was fit, is in the conversation. Luke Shaw's not a bad shout as well. Andy says Graham Lasso. Graham Lasso's not a bad shout. He's onside. There's no question about that. Lovely, lovely ball into the back stick. Fabulous cross, that. I think it was it Hafez? I think it was. It was the left back, Hafez, who plays for Pyramids. Two players from the Egyptian Super League, the Egyptian Premier League, scoring and assisting, creating the goal. Just goes to show there's a lot of unknown gems in this tournament. A lot of fabulous players that maybe us in Europe might not know a thing about. But Karim Hafez with a lovely stood-up cross over to the back stick. And Hashem Assor with a great run. Gets his head on it. There you go, 1-0 Egypt. Fantastic. Egypt are getting further than Germany. 3-star. I removed Jelly for his post, but certainly would have a problem with him if he came back into the chat. No, we're a forgiving bunch, aren't we, mate? At the end of the day, I think as long as he knows why he was taken out, and as long as he kind of tempers his behaviour going forward, then that's all good. Strike. Must be. Oh, lucky. Australia again. They're back at it. Australia aren't giving this up at all. It's always disappointing when none of the Egypt players celebrate with the walk like an Egyptian dance. Din, 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 din. Love that. Do you remember that when City got their owners? Do you remember that outside on Sky Sports? I love that. Sky Sports. There was apparently there was an interview when City finally got they announced the Sheikh takeover kind of thing. Sheikh Mansour took over at Manchester City, and on Sky Sports they went outside interviewing City fans outside the Etihad. Well, as it was then, the City of Manchester Stadium, Eastlands. They went over, and apparently there was City fans outside the ground with a tea towel on their head going like that. Quite a way away there, mate. They're not the same. They're not the same things. Promise you. Not the same things. Can we have a VAR check on bringing back Jelly? Let's get a VAR check, sir. Krager says France versus Paraguay. Score prediction. 8-0. In the nicest possible way, yeah. USA stuck 4 past Paraguay. I dread to think what France will do. Egypt strike. Oh, good block. Very important block. Nearly 2-0 there. The Borough Stadium played what like an Egyptian whenever Mido scored. Did they really? Anfield Vortex is Stuart Pearce. Stuart Pearce, Shaw, Leighton Baines, all good shouts. I think... I mean, Wayne Bridge wasn't bad for a spell. I'm thinking about, like, actually for England. I actually think if we're just talking Premier League, then yeah, I think Leighton Baines is probably the best left-back. Best English left-back after Ashley Cole that I've seen in the Premier League. Is that fair to say? We didn't get an answer to this before. We were talking just before the goal went in. We got asked, Key, who is the best English left-back in your lifetime after Ashley Cole? And there's been various names touted. Luke Shaw. I've just mentioned Wayne Bridge. Leighton Baines is the standout one. Is there anyone else? Ashley Young, says Rasta. Kyle Walker's right back. Yeah, not left back. Same with Ashley Young, really. Ashley Young was more of a right winger. Or a left winger. And a right back. He never really played left back, Ashley Young. You can't really have him as a left back. Jerry McCringleberry says 0-0 Paraguay win on pens. 3-0. Kenny Sansom, 86 caps. He was one of the first, or one of the last England players to play with a moustache, Kenny Sansom. Remember Des Walker? Of course, yeah, I definitely remember Des Walker. I used to work with his sister. His lovely sister. And I mean that in the most wholesome way, by the way. She is really lovely. She's a really nice lady. She worked with me, and I remember she had the surname Walker. I think I've told you this before. She was just dead casual about it one day. We were sat in the office, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I mean my brother's quite famous," and I remember her name was obviously her surname's Walker, and I was like, "Oh right, what does he do?" She was like, "Oh, he was a footballer like back in the day, played for England and stuff," and I was like, Des Walker. No, I think I said, who is it? Des Walker, like dead casual, like just obviously joking. And she was like, yeah, do you know him? Yeah, of course I know Des Walker. Of course I know him. John Walk had a moustache, he did, yeah. I only really remember John Walk from the Masters. He was brilliant in the Masters, wasn't he? How's it going, Shell? Lovely to see you. How you feeling? Leighton Baines was brilliant, says Hill. He was fantastic, wasn't he? Graham Lasso did all right for a while. I think that's a fair shout. Yeah, I liked Graham Lasso too. Won a league title at Blackburn, of course, didn't he? Got to give him credit. I mean, could you also say... Was Lee Dixon? Lee Dixon was left back, wasn't he? For Arsenal. Was he right back and Winterburn was left? I can't remember which. Either one. You could have Winterburn or Dixon, couldn't you, I guess? Whoever. I can't remember. I can never quite distinguish which one was left back and which one was right back with Winterburn and Dixon. Dixon was right back, right? So it's Winterburn who was left. Winterburn was very good then. Winterburn never really got a kick for England, did he? Shell, I'm feeling shit. Oh, you love. I hate that. I hate that sort of post-ictal phase where you've had one in the last couple of days or you've had one recently and you feel like you've been beaten up. It's horrible. Your head's all fuzzy. Look after yourself, lovely. Don't feel like you'd have to come in when you can. Let us know you're okay. Lovely ball over the top. Egypt are in. Should be 2. Oh, how's he missed it? Oh, he's offside. He had to score that. That was a big, big chance, that one. Huge, huge chance. I think he's got to score that. He is offside, Zico. But he should score it. Yes, Mr. Al-Shamari. How you doing? Teddy McDad, almost 2-0. Probably should have been 2-0. Didn't really look up the line, did he? Wasn't looking up the line. Catches himself offside. Imagine being called Zico. Well, his name is... exactly. What is his name? I think he's given himself that moniker. Do you know what I mean? His name is Mustafa Mohammed Abdel Rauf, known as Zico. He's a humble guy. He's very humble. Australia ball in. I think that's going to go out for a corner. It is. Corner to Australia. Very big shoes to fill if you're calling yourself Zico. Shell, how's the game been? It's been alright. Yeah, it's been okay. I think we've enjoyed the first 20 minutes. Australia started really strongly, hit the crossbar. Egypt just came back into it in the last sort of 10 minutes, I guess. It's kind of been an opening 20 minutes of two halves. First 10 probably belong to Australia. Last 10 probably belong to Egypt. Egypt have played a couple of balls over the top that have really hurt the Aussies. And they scored from a header. Here's a corner for Australia. They've had quite a few. Bit of a wasted chance there, and behind it goes. 3-star says Des Walker. I was there in the Slab Square, Nottingham, cheering his name when the team went on the council house balcony after his own goal in the 91 FA Cup final against Spurs. George says, good evening, Key. I had a terrible day at work, but I'm not going to talk about it as we all need to enjoy football. Mate, you take what you can from the game, mate. Just switch off, enjoy your night. Work will still be there tomorrow. You can come back to it tomorrow. Adam Irving, what a player. Zico was unreal. He was fantastic, wasn't he? Absolutely fantastic. Mark Suffield, Key, do you think there'll be another, like Leicester, not a big club, ever to win the Prem? I mean, you'd be silly to rule it out, wouldn't you? You'd be silly to rule it out. Look at how close we've seen teams like Brentford and Bournemouth and Forest, make it to Champions League, getting into the latter stages of the season and in with a chance of qualifying for the Champions League. And chances are, if you get into that point and you've got a good chance of Champions League qualification, it's probably not a million miles away to say that, with a good tailwind, maybe some luck with fitness, and maybe you sign a couple of good players that you shouldn't quite sign at that level. Yeah, certainly a team could surprise us. Leicester did it through very good recruitment. They had Mahrez, they had Kante, they took chances on those players, and they were world class at Leicester City. And then they had the benefit of players like Wes Morgan and Jamie Vardy, who I think was world class for a spell as well. First to yourself, the tablecloth, lad. What's the tablecloth, lad? This ain't a tablecloth, it's a Liverpool away shirt. I was asked to put something black down. Put something black down for me so you can see the writing. That's what Swifty said. I'd never usually had it. It's not a tablecloth. It is. Look, if I show it you. See if I can show it you. It's the Liverpool away kit. Look at that. It's the Liverpool away kit. It's not a tablecloth. I just put something black down for people. Because they said the chat was easier to see. Nice like that. I'm nice like that. Don't ask for much. Pele regarded Zico as the next best Brazilian after him. He's not wrong, is he? He's not wrong. Let me just make sure it's taut. Make sure it's taut. I'd rather a tablecloth than a Liverpool shirt. Oh, that's bang out of order. How are you feeling about the season? How are you feeling about Maresca? That's toilet roll. Behave yourself, Callum. Key, apparently Lamine Kamara's keen on joining Newcastle. What a player he is. Somehow I think you wouldn't be saying that, Robert, if you hadn't heard of him. What a player he is. City of Northville, wear a United kit. It makes the bottom bar easier to see. Cheers, man. Yeah, that's not happening. Billy, oi, oi, how we all doing? Good to see you, Billy. Shahid says that Brazil 82 team, unbelievable. Zico, Socrates, Falcao, Eder. What a team. How far do you think Egypt will go? Ooh. I can't see him going past the next stage, if I'm dead honest. I think they will go through here. Do you not think he's good, Kate? No, he's a tidy player, mate. I just don't think he's... A bit like Bazumana Toure. I don't think he's an upgrade on Tonali. Let's say that. Bazumana Toure is not an upgrade on Gordon. And I don't think Lamine Kamara is an upgrade on Tonali. But they're both young players with you know, ceilings that you could see him maybe kicking on. But then, you know, you said the same about Jacob Ramsey. That hasn't quite worked out. We said the same about Voltemada. We said the same about... There's a lot, you know... First tier Sal says 50-50 at the moment on Maresca. I think he's got the ability to, but it's a sad day. Nathan Ake gone to Fenerbahce for 7 million quid. Gutted. Do you know what? He's a very reliable player. He's been very good for you, lads, hasn't he, Nathan Ake? Yeah, Fenerbahce getting 7 million quid. It's a bargain. Got a bit of a reputation for letting players go too easily, City. Although saying that, maybe it's one of them, like they've done him a favour. Because Nicky Butt went from Man United for 6 million quid, didn't he, to Birmingham, and that was like, according to Ferguson, he should have gone for like 6 times, 7 times more than that. But he wanted to leave. Swifty, I like Ramsey. I think there's a player there. Miley, talented too. Yeah, I like Lewis Miley as well. Again, you've just got to find the right system, I guess. George says there's a book being wrote about Maresca. They say it'll be out by Christmas. But is that the release date or the title? Hey, like it. Neil says, how do we know that they can replace him, Key? Who? Ake? How do we know that City can replace Ake? I'm sure they will do. To be honest, they kind of already have, haven't they? Ake's been playing left back for large parts of the season. Or large parts like before. Nico O'Reilly's come in and, oh Christ, City's most important player last season, arguably. Love Nico O'Reilly. Fabulous player. So they've kind of already replaced him. I mean, they've still got Kusanov. They've got Vitor Reis, I think, who's been out on loan. Gvardiol should have scored last night. Gay's there now. I'm sure they'll go and maybe do some more reinforcements in the summer with Enzo Maresca coming in. So City are okay. I think Ake's been important for them, but same as Stones, I think maybe the time's come to move on. Lil Philly, evening Key, entertaining game here. A bit later than usual, but looking forward to an Egypt win. I think we will see an Egypt win. It's certainly looking at it. First tier South, we need to sell Diaz, I think. Hasn't been at it for a couple of years now. There's rumours apparently we're looking to sell Van Dijk. Yeah, that seems to be persisting. Be weird, because I would have said maybe the start of last season. Diaz and Van Dijk are probably the 2 best centre-backs in the league, and while I'd still say they're in the top 5, or maybe even the top 3, I'd probably include both of them, but form's just tapering a little bit now, isn't it? They're getting to that point. And Virgil van Dijk has been heavily linked with AC Milan. I think Gay's better now, in my opinion. Yeah, Gay's all right. I don't think he's like... It's weird. I don't think we've got such a standout top class centre back really in the Premier League. I think they're all very good in a system. Saliba, Gabriel, wonderful in a system. Van Dijk, I think the system exposed him a little bit last year. Same with Diaz, maybe to an extent. But yeah, Kusanov's very good. How will City replace Ake? The same way as always, spending obscene amounts of money. Goal kick for Egypt. Shabir pumps it long. And it's straight out of play. It's going to be another Egypt throw, though. Yeah, they're getting old, Shell. You're right, I agree. That's what it is. Swifty says Colwill was looking good before the big injury. Yeah, Colwill... Again, you would have imagined he's... It just feels like we've not got any real proper superstars. Like, how many superstars have we got in the Premier League? Erling Haaland's probably the only one that I look at now and think, yeah, superstar. Ooh, unlucky. Yeah, absolute superstar. The rest of them feel like they're kind of... I don't know, just... He's no Terry or Ferdinand for sure, that's it. Saka might be getting to that level soon. What, you think Saka might be a superstar? I think Saka's kind of going the other way now. Saka's almost at Van Dijk levels. He's only in his mid-20s. Kind of been and had his best seasons, I think. City of Northville, good bit. Oh, Samuel L. Jackson in the crowd. That is a tasty burger. Adam, you're forgetting Bruno Fernandes, key proper superstar. Behave yourself, Bruno Fernandes. Branthwaite, without injuries, would be up there. Branthwaite, without injuries, would be a starter for England at centre-back. I agree with that. I think Branthwaite is very, very good. But again, poor lad, can't stay fit. Like him, though. Palmer and Foden under new managers will be interesting. Yeah, and you know what? I'm sure didn't Foden do like a... I could be wrong on this. When Enzo Maresca was at Manchester City, I'm sure Foden did an interview where he cited the work that people like Enzo do with us, like one-to-one. I'm sure I saw an interview with him. It's a good few years ago now. Either way, maybe Foden will be unleashed by Enzo Maresca. Braden, what are you watching right now? I'm watching Australia 0, Egypt 1. 33 minutes into the game. Free kick to the Aussies. Hashem Ashore scored for Egypt from a header about 20 minutes ago. First tier Southie pushed him into the team. I was going to say, I still think he'll be there will be maybe an adaptation period for Maresca at City. I think he's a good coach, but inevitably he's not Pep. And it's kind of the similar type of thing that what happened with us when Klopp left. You get fans who hanker for the days of Klopp. And the same thing with United. They hanker for the days of Ferguson. They can't quite let go that he's not there anymore. There needs to be a sort of... We need to break up the Ferguson squad. We need to break up the Klopp squad. Pep squad will need to be dismantled because he's not there anymore. You need to give it to Enzo Maresca and really give him time. And I hope the City owners will show him that patience. I want to see managers get time. Kind of sickens me in football when we're on this constant cycle of sacking managers. Anfield Vortex, Liverpool interested in Mainz midfielder Kaishu Sano. I absolutely promise you that won't happen, mate. We talked about that earlier in the stream. There's been a couple of links to Liverpool and Kaishu Sano. I absolutely 1,000,000% guarantee you that guy isn't going to come to Liverpool. That's the one rumour we can quash immediately. It's not going to happen. For the same reason that Thomas Partey isn't really liked in England in the Premier League and was booed roundly. Yeah, It's Kaishu Sano isn't going to come to Liverpool. I assure you of that. Billy MC, who remembers Gerard Deulofeu? Yes! Another good player. How's it going, Joe? Key, what do you think about Tonali to Spurs? I think it's a good signing for Spurs. I don't think at that value, 100 million, he would be a great signing for some other teams. But for Spurs specifically, yes, he levels them up and he is guaranteed to work. So I think 100 million is fair value for him, fair value for Mateus Fernandes, and for 185 million, cheap at half the price, they've upgraded. Here's Irankunda, strike! Ooh, good save from Shabir. Callum, how do you think Liverpool will line up next season? Depends how the signings we make. We've got a lot of signings we need to make. We're nowhere near a side that can challenge next season. Michael Key, when does pre-season start, or has it started already? Well, it has started already for quite a few players who are still at Liverpool. Dominic Szoboszlai and various others who are still at the club and training and getting ready. Obviously, Cody Gakpo and Virgil van Dijk, Florian Wirtz. There's a lot of players who are coming back from the World Cup who will... Ooh, that's better. No. Yeah, they'll come back. They'll have 2 weeks holiday now. They're supposed to report back to Liverpool, I think, around the middle of July. Liverpool have a number of pre-season fixtures, which I'll be covering, by the way. There's the Premier League Summer Series, which kicks off in the US towards the end of July, just after the World Cup finishes. Liverpool have Sunderland on the 25th. Liverpool have Sunderland on the 25th. That's an 11 o'clock kickoff. We then play Wrexham at 12:30 on the 30th, and that's 12:30 midnight. And then we play Leeds at 9 p.m. at Soldier Field in the US. 9 p.m, 2nd of August. I'll be there for those two. So there's three, rather. And then we have Monaco. We have a friendly against Monaco and a friendly against Como. So I'll be covering all of those games, because none of the actual football will have started by then. City of Northville says, despite no surgery and being chronically online in the summer, do we think Cole Palmer will be back to previous heights this season? I think he could be, couldn't he? Yeah, I don't see why not. I think Cole Palmer could get back to his best. I quite like Cole Palmer. Oh, that's good football. Australia down the right-hand side. Boss. It's going to be a corner. Luke, do you think England win on Sunday? No. I think England go out on Sunday. I'm back in Mexico. Rob, it's Xhaka time, baby. Oh, he said he's staying now, isn't he? Michael, can't understand why they've put the Mexico v England match on at 1 a.m, especially when people have to go to work on Monday. I don't think they thought immediately about England's, work and economy when they schedule that game, mate. They just... That's the slot that was there, and, it's got to fit everyone else in the world as well. There's people in Australia who have to get up at... What time is it in Australia right now? Isn't it fairly early in the morning in Australia right now? Yeah, look at that. It's half 4. It's 4:30 in Canberra. It's 2:30 in Perth. It's in the very, very early hours of the morning for Australia right now. So this is the World Cup, mate. This is what you have to deal with. This charming Dan, I forgot Sunderland play Liverpool and Leeds in the US. Looking forward to those friendlies. I'll be covering them. There you go. We'll be watching them. One day off work would probably wouldn't bring most countries to their knees. Yep, 4:08 a.m. for the Aussies at the moment. Here's Hafez. 40 minutes on the clock. Get yourself ready for the halftime quiz if you're not already prepped. Soldier of God, how's it going? Kiamet says, did Salah nearly score? No, Salah hasn't really done anything in this game so far. Zico has had a chance that he probably should have scored. And Hashem Ashore scored for Egypt. So it's Australia 0, Egypt 1. Hashem Ashore with the goal. Oh, and he's just been clouted in the mouth there. Hashem Ashore. It's a great name to say that, isn't it? Rasta, don't worry, Kay. If you don't watch the England v Mexico, I'll keep you posted, fam. No, I am going to be watching it, mate. You won't stop me watching that one. I absolutely will be live, come hell or high water, for the England game. Michael Brown, can't understand why Thomas Tuchel took injury-prone players like Reece James and John Stones as part of his England squad, given they've been in and out of their club side due to injury. It's entirely reasonable, yeah. Thank you very much, sir. City of Northville, I caught the Zico virus and it was almost curtains for me till I took naturals. Monty Sutter says Salah's barely touched it. Well, he's about to touch it now. He's going to put a free kick into the box, left-footed in-swinger. And he's not so happy about the distance. I think he's just having a bit of a whinge. He's caught the old Bruno Fernandes bug, Mohamed Salah. Loves a whinge. This charming dance is the amount of Sunderland fans having to delete a week's worth of Xhaka Judas tweets is incredible. When our fans lose their heads, we really lose them. It's going to go behind, is it? No, good defending from the Aussies. Cleared away. Callum says James Garner should have been called up to England. Do you know, I don't think James Garner really does an awful lot in this England squad. I think, let's be honest, he's kept it basically Elliot Anderson and Declan Rice for the entire tournament. So, you know, Jordan Henderson hasn't got a look. Kobbie Mainoo hasn't really got a look. They've not really picked anyone else in the middle of the park. So, yeah, I don't think James Garner would have really benefited from being called up. Everton are probably quite glad that he stayed. Long ball up the touchline. Lovely play from Iran Kunda. Whoa! There's a bit of a scrap there. Oh, I told you about this Iran Kunda. He does love a little scrap. And he has maybe kicked out at one of the Egypt players there. I don't know if it was maybe accidental. Referee saying, come here. Let's see. Was there a bit of a lash out? Oh, no, he just lands on his... No, it's nothing. There's nothing intentional there. Absolutely nothing intentional there. Anfield Vortex, I read in the papers that Liverpool are interested in Fulham's Kevin. I actually quite like him. Yeah, I do actually quite like Kevin. I think he's not a bad player at all. I don't know if he's necessarily a Liverpool player, but I'd agree. He's certainly one worth looking at, especially given the wide player market that we have. The problem is that Fulham paid, was it 40 million for Kevin? How much would they want for him? You'd be looking at 50 or 60 million for Kevin now, wouldn't you? Something like that. Callum says Everton are gonna sign Tyreek George. Yeah, he wasn't brilliant. I don't think that's a smart move for Everton really, but it's a very Everton signing. England-Mexico supposedly kicking off at 7 p.m. UK time. Some guy with 1 million subscribers just retweeted it. Yeah, no, that's not true. It's at 1 a.m, mate. They're not changing an England kickoff time just for England, I absolutely promise you. Not when Australia are playing right now at 2, 3 a.m. Australia local time. Not a chance. They're not going to change it just for England. Okay, we've got 5 added minutes at the end of the first half. 5 added minutes so far. So let's have a look at the poll in the chat. 44% of you said Egypt win. 40% said Australia win. So it was quite tied in the chat. The vast majority of you unsure whether or not, well, which way this one was going to go. It'd be interesting to see if those people who voted Australia, who thought Australia could win it or maybe take it to extra time, do they still think that Australia can do it now, 1-0 down at half time? Oh, that's a lovely ball in. Salah, flick on. No, straight at the keeper. Too easy. It's weather, apparently. So they're going to move it. They're going to move it, what, like an extra 6 hours the other way for weather? I can't see that. I mean, maybe, possibly. I can't see it, but it could happen, I guess. Certainly could happen. Here's Australia down the left-hand side. Cut in, strike, miles wide. Miles wide. Jordan says, not sure, some TV show, Claro Sports or something going on about it. Think it's a Mexico sports show. Again, hey, listen, it would be very, very unusual if they did change it. Hiller says Tyreek George has potential, I think. I thought that before he went to Everton, but I've got to say, Everton were a really uninspiring team going forward in the second half of the season last year, and he didn't get a kick. You know, I quite like Tyler Diblin. I still think Tyler Diblin's got ability. Moyes just didn't fancy either of them. So I guess when I say I don't think Tyreek Diblin's a smart signing, it's kind of tied to the idea that they won't succeed while David Moyes is there. He's never been particularly good with young players. Montessorts, what will be the theme for the quiz? Aussies in the Premier League haven't been a whole lot. And this charming Dan says, Key, I like the short you did in the Croatia-Portugal game. Shame that game had to end on such a downer. Such a good game as well, wasn't it? Anfield Vortex, apparently there's going to be a severe lightning storms for the England game. Good grief. Don't start, Kieran. Don't start. Okay, we've got 90 seconds left there or thereabouts in this half. Australia, they were really rocked by that Egypt goal, weren't they? They've not quite been able to get their heads back into the game. We've not seen a whole lot of Iran Kunda or Jordan Boss down this right-hand side. That's probably where, if there is going to be a goal from Australia, it's probably going to come from one of those two. Volpato had a strike off the top of the crossbar before Egypt scored, but they're not able to really keep the ball, and every time the ball does break loose, look at this, Egypt just pumping it long. It's all about second balls this half. That's a good run. Good play from Jordan Boss. Here's Iran Kunda. Well done. Lovely ball inside. Gonna strike it. Oh, there's a claim for a handball there. I don't think you're going to get that one. And Egypt just managed to squirrel it away. Joe, Key, can I ask you a rarely asked question? You can't, mate, no. Michael Brown says the game favours Mexico because it's played at such high altitude, which the England team will not be used to. And Neil, it had better not get pushed back too far. I have work at 7:30 and my son gets into college 10 minutes later, so a 5 a.m. kickoff due to weather could be a worst case scenario. Well, generally, they've only really pushed it back to a couple of hours. So if it was a 1 a.m. kickoff, they might leave it till 3. If it's a 3 a.m. start, and again, maybe they delay, middle of the way through, you could be on for a 6, 7 o'clock finish, for sure. Aussie player down, yep, I think it is Jordan Boss as well, isn't it? And it's going to be half-time as well. I think the ref's blown up here. Has he? Yep, half-time. Half-time, there you go. Rob, 5 a.m. would be better. You just wake up for work earlier. Right. Okay, there's your halftime quiz. There have been 19 Australians or Egyptians, 19 combined. I'm not going to tell you the exact breakdown, but there have been 19 combined Australians or Egyptians who have 50 or more Premier League appearances. Who are they? Who are they? Who are the 19 Egyptians or Australians who made 50 or more Premier League appearances? Salah is correct. Salah is correct. He is the most for Egypt. Tim Cahill, Shelt, correct. Tim Cahill's there for the Aussies. Mark Viduka, good shout. Yeah, Mark Viduka's there. Chris Wood is New Zealand. Football Talks. Come on, famous Aussies in the Prem. Lucas Neal, Rob. Well done. Lucas Neal's there. Yeah. Famously broke Jamie Carragher's leg. Harry Kewell. Another former Liverpool Aussie. Mark Bosnich. Former Man United and Chelsea and Villa goalkeeper. El Mohammadi. Good shout. Hassan El Mohammadi. Brett Emerton, good shout. Brett Emerton, former Blackburn star. Liked Brett Emerton, always good. Very reliable player. Took a good free kick. Not Johnston, no. Not Johnston. We've already said one of them in the chat. Mark Schwartz is a good shout, yeah. So you've got Schwarzer, Neal, Kewell, Emerton, Viduka, Cahill, Bosnich, El Mohammadi and Salah. You've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 left to get. And one of them is, I think, in the squad today. He might even be... Oh, no, there's 2 of them. There's 2 of them in the squad today. Yeah, there's 2 of them in the squad today. Matt Ryan is 1. There you go. Matt Ryan is correct. He's there. Trezeguet is correct. Yeah, you might remember Trezeguet from his spell at Aston Villa. He's on the bench today for Egypt. Aaron Moy, good shout, yes. Aaron Moy and El Neni, good shout. Arsenal's El Neni, Aaron Moy, formerly of Huddersfield Town. I think he might have played for someone else, but I can't remember exactly who else he played for. Not Josip Skoko. No, not Josip Skoko. He doesn't make the top 50. Harry Kuehl we've got. So far we've got, I'll give you a recap. We've got Schwarzer, Neil, Kuehl, Emerton, Mark Viduka, Tim Cahill, Mark Bosnich, Matt Ryan, Aaron Moy, Trezeguet, El Neni, El Mohammadi, and Mo Salah. You've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left to get. And there's 1 Egyptian and 5 Australians. Not Marmoush. Marmoush hasn't yet made the top 50. Or hasn't made 50 plus appearances. Not Cameron Burgess. Moy played for Brighton. He did. Of course he did. Lazaridis. Good shout, Anfield Vortex. Yep, Stan Lazaridis. Made a lot of appearances in the Premier League for West Ham, for Birmingham City. Amir Zaki is a very good shout, but he didn't make 50 appearances. Famously, he had a wonderful half season for Wigan. And then he kind of just disappeared, and Steve Bruce was like, I've found him, but he's not bothered. He just doesn't come back. The lowest apps total. Says it right there. 50 plus appearances. 50 plus. The lowest for the person. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Not Hossam Ghali. Not Ramsey. No. You've got 1 Egyptian that you've not got. Mido. Andy's got it. Mido is correct. Mido's the only Egyptian. You're now looking for 4 Australians. And I'll give you some clues. 1 of them played for Crystal Palace. 1 of them was known primarily for playing for Manchester City. 1 of them was known primarily for playing for Middlesbrough. There you go. Montesutter's got Mila Jedinak. That's the Crystal Palace Australian. You've got 1 who was known for playing for Borough in the mid to late 90s. You've got a Man City, feisty, bald Man City midfielder. And you've got a goalkeeper who played for Wigan. That should give you the answers, to be fair. Steve Irwin. No, not quite. Rob says, Key, that 7 p.m. kickoff time is actually in the talks. Alex Crooks just tweeted. I mean, that would be a huge win, wouldn't it? That would be a phenomenal win. Yeah, if we could do that, that'd be amazing. Not Marcus Hahnemann. No, he was US. El Habsi was from Oman. No, the Wigan goalkeeper, I'll give you, was John Filan. He was actually a very good keeper, John Filan. Didn't really get the praise that he deserved. But yeah, John Filan is there. You've got 2 left to get. You should get these 2 if you're of a certain age. Middlesbrough Australian. They didn't have too many Middlesbrough Australian midfielders. And there you go. Andy's got Tiato. Danny Tiato for Manchester City. Little bald midfielder. He was very feisty. Used to fly around the middle. Not Ramadan Sobhi. No. Ramadan Sobhi didn't make 50 appearances in the Prem. But Robbie Slater did. Good answer. There you go. Robbie Slater is correct. So that is there's only been 19 players from either Egypt or Australia who have made 50 or more Premier League appearances. They were Mark Schwarzer, Lucas Neal, Harry Kuehl, Brett Emerton, Mark Viduka, Tim Cahill, Mark Bosnich, Stan Lazaridis, Matt Ryan, Aaron Moy, Mila Jedinak, Robbie Slater, John Filan, Danny Tiato, and then you had Trezeguet, El Neni, Mido, El Mohammadi, and Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah. There you go. That's your halftime quiz, folks. If you enjoyed that, do me a favour. Give us a like. Give us a sub if you're new. If you didn't like, then, say in the chat. I bloody hated that quiz. Anfield Vortex, if Buwadi signs for anyone after the World Cup, who would have him, so you think? Honestly, I have no idea. Wow, thank you very much for that, Do Wangle. That's very kind of you. Love that. Really appreciate that. Very kind. PSG for Buwadi. Again, they have a reputation for signing kind of the best of the best in League and the best young players and then farming them out on loan. I'm not sure that would be a smart move for Buwadi. Cheers, Shell. Rush says 72, watching only 26 likes. Come on, chat. It's absolutely shocking, isn't it? Rush Fowler. Shocking. Liverpool desperately need a DM. Thank you so much, Do Angle. That's very nice of you. Can Australia get back into this? That's the big question. Can they turn this around? It's not going to be easy. Egypt, known for being very pragmatic, deep block, 3-5-2, man-to-man press. They had less than, well, in some games they had less than 40% possession in the AFCON. But they're a totally different animal against good sides. Jordan, apparently City want that Buadi. I mean, it's silly season though, isn't it? Every time there's a good player available, they get linked to everybody. You kind of have to take it all with a pinch of salt. Thank you for tapping the screen. Really appreciate that. See if we can get up to 5k by the second half kicking off. That might be ambitious. Key, make a team with one player per Prem team. Oh my God, go on, we'll do that. That can be a quick half-time challenge. Quick half-time challenge at the Tavern. One player per Premier League team, you say. Okay, go on. Half-time challenge, one player per Prem team. Always someone has a blinder of a World Cup just to set a team up for a fail. Yeah, there's always going to be one, isn't there, who just catches the eye, but you can never back them to turn it on when you do sign them. Let's get the big stars out of the way. I would have Rice. I would have Szoboszlai. No, I wouldn't have Szoboszlai. I'd have Van Dijk. Van Dijk's still the best centre-back, and he's still our best player. So I'm going to put Van Dijk in there. I would definitely have Rice from Arsenal. Who would I have from United? Oh, God. Do you know what? Probably Senna Lamens. He might not be the worst one to have. Maybe Senna Lamens. I can't bring myself to have Cunha. Tough that. Haaland from City. I'm trying to think of the best ones. You've got to fit them in. You've got to get them into this team somehow. Difference makers. You want real difference makers. I think Semenyo. I'm going to put Semenyo in there. I'd go Semenyo. Villa. I'm going to put John McGinn in midfield. I think John McGinn's a difference maker for me. He's going in midfield. I love John McGinn. So I'm having Rice and McGinn in midfield. Chelsea. Fucking hell, there's not a lot of quality there at Chelsea, is there? There's really not a lot of quality. Caicedo, maybe. Can't not have a Chelsea player, can you, really? Yeah, go on, bugger it. We'll go with Caicedo. So we'll have a midfield three of Rice, Caicedo and McGinn. That's not a bad midfield. We will have Haaland, but no, we've got Semenyo. We'll stick with that. Tottenham's best player. It's probably going to have to be Van de Ven, isn't it? It's going to have to be Van de Ven. Is it Van de Ven? Oh, we can have Tonali. We can have Matheus Fernandes now, but who else have they signed recently? Van Hecker. Martinez for Villa. No, I'm gonna stick with. I'm gonna pick my keeper last. I'm trying to pick players who I really like, who I think I can, get away with. Maybe it's not Rice for Arsenal then. Maybe it isn't. Maybe it's Gabriel. Maybe he's. Yeah, we're gonna put Gabriel at the back with Van Dijk. Bugger it. Gabriel at the back with Van Dijk, and I'm gonna put Bruno Guimaraes in from Newcastle. just to give us a bit extra in there. So it's going to be a Bruno, McGinn and Caicedo midfield. I'm happy with that. Tottenham. Kudus. Buggered it. Kudus is going in. I like Kudus. I do enjoy Kudus. Bournemouth. Scott. Oh, again, it's always in the best part of the pitch, aren't they? They're all in that area. Who else did I get in midfield? I maybe could move McGinn back out. Maybe go and get Rodgers. Rodgers from Villa. Oh, I like McGinn though. Who have I got in the middle of the park? Bruno, Caicedo. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. This is really hard. Jimmy says Egypt 2, Australia 1, you're thinking. Clivert, move McGinn out to the left. It's tough. Do you know what? I'm going to go... No, I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm having Lacroix from Palace. I've always liked Maxence Lacroix. Palace, I'm having Lacroix. Thank you, Wangle. Very nice of you. Really appreciate that. Forest, I might go... If I'm going Lacroix... Do I get Wirtz in? I'm going to get Wirtz in. I'm taking Van Dijk out and I'm putting Isak in. I'm putting Isak in at centre forward. Buggered it. I'm going there. Isak centre forward. It's going to be Gabriel and Lacroix at the back. I need a goalkeeper. I'm scrambling for a goalkeeper at this point. Forest has got to be Morgan Gibbs-White. It's not a bad shout. Mark says, Key, they're saying on BBC. Yeah, we've just been saying, it might be getting moved to 7 o'clock. We're about to kick off the second half here. Thank you very much, Wangle. Love that. I'm trying to think of other players we can really sneak in there. We're going to have to get some left backs and right backs in. Not got any left backs and right backs in so far. Might be on for Jake O'Brien at Everton here by this shout. It might have to be Pickford, and I'm really loath to do it. I don't want to give Pickford I don't want to give it to Pickford. So what time is that in Mexico? Egypt are in. Oh, he missed it. 10 seconds in, and Marmoush has got to put that away. That's an absolute sitter. Oh, that should be it. That should be game, set, match. Oh, it's a lovely first touch. Aussies are sleeping, and it's a terrible, terrible move, that one, from the Aussies' perspective. Defensively all over the place. How can you go from kicking off 10 seconds, the ball's nearly in the back of the net? Wow. Wow. Key, you love Pickers. I'm not having Pickers. I'm not having him. It's not happening. Oh, it's tough. It's really tough, this. Right, so it's going to be Isak at centre forward. It's going to be Kudus off the right. It's going to be Semenyo off the left. And then it's going to be a midfield three of Bruno, McGinn, Caicedo. I'm going to have Gabriel and Lacroix at centre-back. Which means I need 2 full-backs and a goalkeeper, right? 2 full-backs and a goalkeeper. And who have I got to get? Truffert was pretty good from Bournemouth. Could possibly go with him. Good ball. That's better. Cleared away. Much, much better. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Coyote from Brentford at right back because I liked him. He was fantastic. Australia, far post must be. Oh, how does that stay out? Oh, Coyote's going at right back. That's one done. And then I need a left back. I'm going to put Robinson from Fulham. And then I need a goalkeeper. best goalkeeper we can get from Leeds, and it might actually have to be maybe. There's a bit of a collision at the back stick. We've got a player down. Best goalkeeper out of Pickford. Who have I had so far? Have I even picked a Man United player? I haven't, have I? Oh, it's going to be Lamans then. We'll put Lamans in. We'll have Lamans from United. There you go. That's my team. That's my team. I've done it. He's back up. He's all right. He's okay. He's okay. He's up. He's up and okay. I think that just looked a lot more dramatic than it actually was. There you go. That's my team. What do you think of Ange to Al Nassr? Oh, I wouldn't. I knew that he'd gone to Saudi. I wasn't aware which team he'd gone to. So he's going to be managing Cristiano next year, is he? Typical cop-out, calls us bitter but can't even put Garner or Pickford in. I mean, to be fair, mate, Garner's not better than Caicedo, Bruno or McGinn. I don't even think you'd argue that, would you? He's not better than any of them. And while I would agree that Garner and Pickford are your two best players, I don't think Pickford's better than Senna Lamans either now. Odegaard moving to Galatasaray, says Mad Dog Josh. No chance. No chance. Ruffs, James, Lacroix, Van Dijk, Robinson, Rice, Bruno, Fernandes, and Dye. Right, I mean, the fact that you've put Illiman and Dye in there and Ruffs, you've got your keeper's worse than mine. Your keeper's worse than mine. Your right back's worse than mine. Yeah, yeah, my team's well better. My team's 1,000,000% better than yours. McLaren says Raya or Pickford. What goalkeeper is the best? I'd say that's pretty comparable, to be fair. Probably David Raya. But there's probably not much in it. I'd say David Raya is better, yeah. But again, he doesn't have to do much. I think that's the difference, isn't it? He doesn't have to do much for Arsenal. I'd argue Pickford and Lamans are about level, but Lamans has the youth advantage. Yeah, that's probably a fair shout. Just feel like Lamans is maybe a bit more commanding, maybe a bit more consistent. James is worse than Coyote. He is. Objectively, he is. For a kickoff, he's available for 80% of the season. Best abilities, availability, Timbo. Australia in the box, his boss. Far post. Cleared away by Egypt. They're putting a lot more pressure on here. Clarence says, I'd love to see Onana back to Man United. Well, he's just signed back in for Trabzonspor, hasn't he? Noah, have you heard about Ake to Fenerbahce? Yeah, we were just chatting about it. 7 million quid. It's quite cheap, that, isn't it? Bias, Key. It's not bias, Shell. You know me. I don't do bias. Never. Every time Pickford touches the ball, I expect a stupid mistake. Mohamed Hani with a long throw for Egypt. It's been good so far this second half for Australia. I mean, admittedly, they should have conceded in the first 10 seconds, but, you know, let's call it for what it is. It's been a good second half. I think they've done quite well. Copites and gobshots. Key's more biased than me. Hey, what about that man Zambi though, eh, Joe? What about that man Zambi? He's alright, isn't he? Crew, are you ready for Pep to suddenly want an international job as soon as Jurgen becomes Germany boss? He might do. Yeah, he might do. I wonder. Pep might fancy an international job. You've just got to wonder which one. Probably one, no doubt, where there is... I mean, it's going to have to be one where there's a good talent pool where they could really, you know, pull a few... I actually think... I've got a feeling that Pep would take a job managing in Africa. I think Pep's going to manage Africa. I don't know why. I've got a feeling Pep as manager of Morocco. It's just it reeks of Pep Guardiola, that type of a move. Pep wants Spain so he can woo his ex-wife back. Noah Key, what do you think Maresca will do with City? I mean, I think he's going to have to break up the squad a little bit, put his own stamp on it. Or will he do what Arne Slot did and not make a single change? Obviously, he's already got Elliot Anderson in, so he can't do that. But when Arne Slot came in and took over from Jurgen Klopp, didn't make a single change. Great strike, it's 1-1! There you go! Is it going to count? Surely it is. Yes, it's Souttar! Harry Souttar, what a goal! There you go. Fantastic header. 2 headers in this game. And it's come from Egypt. Probably should have been 2-0 up at the other end. They've not taken the chance. Egypt give a free kick away. Lovely ball in from the right-hand side. And the Aussies get the flick on. Harry Souttar makes it 1-1. We've got a game on, folks. We have got a game on. The 8-foot wonder does it for the Aussies. Yeah, he's onside. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it might be an own goal, this. Is it not an own goal? Looks like it goes over everyone. Yeah, it's an own goal. I thought it was. It looks like an own goal, and it is an own goal. It's a fabulous header from the Egypt defender. I wonder if he's playing the old Tonali, because it's a fabulous header. It's gone down as a Harry Souttar goal, but I am absolutely confident that that is going to be probably a Hafez own goal. I think it's a Hafez own goal. And Egypt, masters of their own downfall here. We saw it with another African side against Belgium the other day. Could it be another African undoing in this tournament? Congo should have took the second chance against England. They hit the post. They didn't make it count. Sloppy defending. And they ended up going out. Same with Senegal. Might be the same here with Egypt. I wonder if that's going to get updated. It's Hani. Was it Hani who headed it in? They still got it down as Harry Souttar. Oh no, now it has changed. Mohamed Hani. Yeah, Mohamed Hani with the OG. Neil says game is officially being brought forward, Key. 7 PM on Sunday, so now we can watch England get battered earlier. And I can become a deluded United fan earlier. Well, that does change things a little bit, doesn't it? So, England were supposed to play at 1 AM against Mexico. That's now going to get brought forward, you said, to 7. If that does get brought forward to 7 PM, does that push the Brazil-Norway game back? And if it doesn't push the Brazil-Norway game back, then what we're actually talking about there is 2 games literally back to back. It basically, if the England game doesn't go off on time, if England and Mexico goes to extra time, which I think is infinitely possible, we're going to miss the Brazil-Norway game. I hope they move the Brazil-Norway game back an hour. Oh, that's so annoying. Brazil-Norway kicks off at 9 PM. Mexico-England was scheduled to be 1 AM. It's going to get moved back to 7. Surely it gets... Move it back to 6. Move it back to 6. Give it time. Can't be having that. Can't be missing Brazil-Norway. So annoying. We want Brazil-Norway. We want England-Mexico. 12 PM midday in Mexico will be even hotter, says Jordan. they'll move Brazil-Norway. I hope they do shift it an hour forward or two. Maybe even 2 hours forward. 7 p.m, 11 p.m. seems to be the pattern. That's what tonight's games are. Australia-Egypt kicked off at 7. And then you've got Argentina-Cape Verde kicking off 11 p.m. UK time. So if they shift the Brazil-Norway game a couple of hours forward, that would be good. Here's Egypt's strike. Must be Mo Salah. That's poor from Salah. That's exactly what we saw with him all last season. Gets to the edge of the box. Couple of little rollbacks either side and then twats it into the legs of the defender. Stupid. Could argue Congo's goal was terrible goalkeeping at the near post. Pickford's going to cost us. Can't disagree with that, Adam. Cannot disagree with that at all. But 1-1, this one looks like it might be heading to extra time and penalties itself. We might have a long goal game here. Still fancy Egypt to go through, just about, but that's so poor. That's absolutely dreadful in midfield. Here's Iran Kunda. That's going to be a foul and a yellow card, I'm sure. Get up, lad. Get up. Salah's past it, says Hiller. Nah, that was a clear foul. Clear foul from Ibrahim. Just swiped Iran Kunda. Callum says, I'm sorry, but Salah had about 7 players around him. Stupid is a bit far. Oh, Callum, listen to you now, protecting him because he's not a Liverpool player anymore. He wouldn't have said that if he was playing for Liverpool. Affinity changes as soon as he's left Liverpool, doesn't he? He's your mate again. Timbo says, what number is Salah now in Liverpool's best ever players now that you hate him, Key? I don't hate him. I just think he was really, really unprofessional towards the end of his Liverpool career. And multiple times chose himself over the team. That was my issue. Very unprofessional. Ego bigger than his talent. But yeah, I still think he's in our top. Well, he's certainly top 5, maybe top 10, top 5 in my lifetime for Liverpool players. Maybe top 20 for likability. Actually, I don't even think he would be top 20 for likability. There's a lot of players I liked a lot more than Mo Salah. He's jealous of Salah's hair. I'm really not, mate. What, is his fake as well? Cheers, Rasta. What a guy. Football Talk says, what do you think about Croatia's last-minute equaliser disallowed? I thought it was an absolute farce. Yeah, I thought it was a farce. Shocking decision from the referee. I don't really know what we're doing with football anymore. I put a short out as I was watching the game, as it happened in real time. I just took a little clip of it and recorded my feelings, sat there at whatever time it was, 3:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. And it just, to me, that was a stupid decision from the referee and the VAR team. And it's not what we agreed to, is it? It's really not what we agreed to in football. Nobody asked for VAR to get involved on stuff like that. Nobody wants that stuff. Nobody wants those goals ruled out. Do we want offside to mean a deliberate sort of attempt to play the ball? Like, if you remember, the offside rule was brought in to prevent goal hanging. That's the whole point of offside. It was to stop deliberate goal hanging. If it flicks off a guy's hair, the ball didn't even change direction. If it flicks off his hair and goes through, I'm sorry, that's not offside for me. It's not offside. I don't want to see it given as offside. And no one said that if the referee gives it as onside, that VAR should be allowed to get in position to overrule it. VAR was brought in for clear and obvious. That was the ruling, wasn't it? Clear and obvious decisions. Last night didn't constitute clear and obvious. It just didn't. I'm sorry. It didn't constitute clear and obvious. It makes the game worse as a spectacle. There's not a single... The only people who wanted that goal ruled out last night was Portugal fans. And I can understand why. I can understand why Portuguese fans wanted it chalked off. I'm sorry, if you're an independent, neutral football fan, you wanted that goal to stand because Croatia deserved it. They'd played really well. They'd fought to the last minute. They'd got the goal. It deserved to go to extra time. It deserved extra time, that game. VAR has made the game worse, not better, said City of Northville. Rachel Cook, how's it going, Rachel? Noah says, I think it's only offside if they play the ball or score with the part that's off. Callum says, you got to be straight, though. Salah could have joined Real Madrid after 17-18, but stayed with you. What do you think we should be grateful? He got to play for us. We didn't get to have him. That's not how it works, mate. He's playing for Liverpool. He's playing for Liverpool. I couldn't give a toss. He could have gone to Real Madrid. No, he couldn't, because Real Madrid wouldn't have paid a fee for him. He could have gone to Real Madrid. Don't talk nonsense. Joe, what about if it was Liverpool, Key? Well, as I said then, the only people who wanted that goal to be chalked off was Portugal fans. So if it was Liverpool, yeah, I would want it chalked off. But then that would be an indication that... I mean, that's me being honest, isn't it? Timbo says whether it deserved extra time is irrelevant, though, really. If it's the right decision, it's the right decision. I know, but I just don't think it is... It's not in the spirit of the game, and I don't think we can demonstrably prove that it was the right decision. So, the rule of clear and obvious was broken, because it wasn't clear and obvious. And, you know, we're basing it on... We can't even see whether he did touch the ball. We're basing it on a little chip inside a ball... And there was a little jump. There was a little jump just as it went past his head. So what, it flicks his hair and for that reason it's going to be offside? Come on. Come on. Let's call it what it is. This charming Dan says, I have no idea why VAR sent the ref to the screen. If they thought it was offside, they should have made the call. The ballless bastard stuck it on the ref. The original call should have stood. Agree. Well, it was Jared Gillett, wasn't it? Jared Gillett, Premier League referee, who was on the VAR last night. So he was one of the people involved. He's actually a Liverpool fan, Jared Gillett. I think he is from Australia as well. Egypt strike, cleared away by the Socceroos. Not really got anyone forward. Iran Kunda increasingly deeper and deeper. They're sitting in here, Australia. It's kind of just waiting for Egypt to score. Not what you want to see. Tony Popovic will be encouraging him to push out a little bit more. They actually struggled to qualify for the World Cup. Had a wobble at home against Bahrain. And the manager, Graham Arnold, was sacked as a result. That's why Tony Popovic came in. And then they went unbeaten after that. They went unbeaten under Popovic. Winning 2-1 against Saudi Arabia. This is the 6th straight World Cup. Very good for the low block. Callum says, you Liverpool fans think you're a bigger club than you are. 2 titles in 36 years. Salad in 24-25 carried you, to be fair. No, Liverpool, we don't think we're bigger. I mean, I can't speak for other people, but I don't think Liverpool are bigger than what they are. Liverpool FC are the biggest club in England. We're the biggest club in England. And I think even someone who disliked Liverpool would say we're probably the 4th or 5th best in Europe. I think you could make an argument that we're even higher than that, but I think most people would say we're probably 4th or 5th in Europe. Therefore, 4th or 5th in the world, aren't we? 4th or 5th biggest club in the world. Top 5, let's say that. Joseph says, are Ivory Coast still in the World Cup? No, mate, no. They got knocked out by Norway. City of Northville says, we just have to trust the tech that can't even be seen with the naked eye. How would we know if it got right? It could have glitched. Well, it didn't show. It didn't show the bit when it landed on Vega's back, did it? Got a hydration break here. The bit where Matanovic made the header. He went for the header, and it kind of grazed his hair, and there was a bit of a jump a bit of a spike on the ball. But it didn't when it hit Gabri Vega. When it hit, not Gabri Vega, Ramon Vega, whatever his name is, the fella at the back. Renato Vega. Ramon Vega used to play for Spurs, didn't he? Renato Vega at the back. It hit him. Didn't spike for him. George says Liverpool first, second United, Arsenal third, fourth Chelsea. I'd say Chelsea are bigger than Arsenal, personally. Chelsea are bigger than Arsenal for me. Jordan, Man United will always be the biggest club in England. No, you can't have that. On every metric, Man United are not the biggest club in England. The only one that you can argue is that you've got a bigger stadium. That's it. That's the only... And I don't think anyone would argue that Old Trafford is a better stadium than Anfield either. So you've got a bigger stadium. You've got maybe a bigger capacity. But I don't think anyone would actually argue that Man United are bigger than Liverpool on any other metric. You're not on trophies. You're not on recent success. You're not on player pull. You're just not. This charming Dan says, it being Jared Gillett explains a lot. If you look up the word incompetence in the dictionary, there's a picture of that. Could argue merch sales. Behave yourself, merch sales. They're bigger on merch sales. Well, you can't even look at merch sales. That could be because they're priced more expensive. Nonsense. Couple of changes here. Tony Popovic giving it to his young Aussies. Jordan Boss injury, yeah. Do you know what? Boss has been really good today, I think, Rachel. He's done well, hasn't he? I like him a lot. Callum, who have Liverpool pulled, though, like, massive player-wise, apart from Wirtz last season? Wirtz, Isak. I mean, any player that we've gone in for. Darwin Núñez had Liverpool and Man United. He chose Liverpool. There's loads of players who've had the option of both, and we've beat them to him. So, yeah. I mean, I think, put it this way. If you were a player this summer and you had a direct choice between Liverpool or Manchester United, I don't think there's a competition. Luke, how are Chelsea bigger than Arsenal? 2 Champions Leagues, multiple European Cups. They've won the Europa League, the Conference League, 2 Champions Leagues at this point. I think you've got to, you at some point, I mean, I don't like it, mate. I agree. I don't like Chelsea. I really don't like them. After Everton and Man United, they are my third most hated team. I don't like Chelsea at all. But they are undeniably bigger than Arsenal. In my humble opinion. I think the European Cups and recent success have to count for something. Yeah. Good ball in. Egypt clear it away. Callum says, well, United are the safer option this summer, I can't lie. Why? Why would United be the safer option? Why'd you say no way, Luke? Of course they are. Why would you argue that Chelsea are not bigger than Arsenal? I think in every metric that counts, they're bigger. Ask Ashley Cole. Yeah, it's fair. It's very fair. Listen, I think in the Abramovich era, if we're just talking the Abramovich era, obviously Arsenal have got 1 Premier League title in 22 years, basically since Abramovich arrived on the scene. So, yeah, if we're talking last 20 odd years, it's Chelsea. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's not even close. More successful across the last 20... Not a short period of time either. It's not like we're saying the last 5 years. That's 20 years. 20 years. 2 European Cups, Europa Leagues, Conference Leagues. More Premier Leagues than Arsenal in that time. Many more. If you were doing a combined squad, of Chelsea over the last 22 years and Arsenal over the last 22 years, since Arsenal last won a league title, 22 years, Chelsea dominate that team. They dominate it. Arsenal are the bigger club. They're only the bigger club because we want them to be the bigger club. Arsenal are the more likeable club. I'll say that. Arsenal are the more likeable club, for sure. Callum says, will Liverpool have a lot of outgoings, new coach? So do Man United. So do United. And they've got an unproven coach who's a better manager. Carrick or Iraola. Oh, that makes sense, Callum. Come on, wake up. Man United have got a load of outgoings as well. They just lost two of their best players. Timbo says, in terms of the who's bigger than who debates, Chelsea Arsenal is the best one. There's plenty of arguments for both sides. History isn't just built on 20 years. No, it isn't. It isn't. But by that logic, teams like Sunderland and Huddersfield are bigger than, Newcastle. I mean, Sunderland fans might argue that as well, to be fair. George says, did Key just call us likeable? No, I just said you're more likeable than Chelsea, which is a very low bar. That's like saying a dung beetle is more likeable than a rat. It probably is, to be fair. Clip says United and Liverpool ain't a debate on who's bigger. Come on. Of course it is. Of course it is. It's been an age-old debate, but there's only one winner on the things that matter. High key according to Eagle. Who's Eagle? Who's Eagle? I don't know. You can have trophies, but you can't buy the clout. Yeah, all right, yeah, fair enough. On the things that matter, Liverpool are the bigger club. The things that matter. Montesot 2 Kers, who's the biggest anyway? It's about what happens on the pitch. Correct. And what happens on the pitch, if we're measuring just on that, Liverpool are the biggest. And Chelsea are the biggest as well. In terms of bigger than Arsenal. Liverpool are bigger than United, Chelsea are bigger than Arsenal. If we're just talking about what happens on the pitch, you're right. You're absolutely right. Clip says Liverpool couldn't finish in the Europa League places and signed Pogba and Zlatan. I mean, Zlatan was washed by the time you signed him. That wasn't like unbelievable pull from Man United. I mean, Pogba. You paid an extortionate amount of money. Like, nearly 140 million that deal was in total. Mohamed Hani's own goal to bring Austria level is the 13th own goal of the 2026 World Cup, which is the most own goals of any previous World Cup. 2018 had 12... although saying that, there was only 64 games in 2018 and 98. In fact, do you know what? Look at that. The most own goals at a World Cup, that's gotta be a change in style of play, hasn't it? In 1998, there were 64 games at that World Cup and there was only 6 own goals. Second is 2018. Again, there was 64 games. There was 12 own goals. Double the amount of goals in that World Cup. And this year so far, we've had 86 games and there's 13 own goals. So it's gonna keep going up and up and up, isn't it? Simon, Sunderland fan here, glad to see Xhaka is staying. Yeah, I think that's a really smart move for Sunderland. Good to keep him. I could understand why maybe he had his head turned. Pogba was top 2 midfielders in the world, though. No, he wasn't, mate. He was top 2 at what? Dancing and colouring his hair blonde. He was shite. He was shite at United. Pogba, honestly, Pogba's the same. The same people who rate Pogba are the same people who rate Neymar. FIFA fanboys. Juve Pogba was unreal. He was questionable. He was a very, very energetic and physical midfielder in a league that wasn't particularly energetic or physical. So he thrived in that area of the pitch. But it wasn't a great league at that time. When Paul Pogba was leaving Italy, I mean, Italy had already... It wasn't a great league. It wasn't a brilliant league. It's the same league that Scott McTominay's gone over and dominated. It's the same league that Chris Smalling went over and was one of the best centre-backs over there. The same league that Fikayo Tomori and Loftus-Cheek have looked at home in. You know, that's Serie A. That's Italy nowadays, isn't it? Keith Downey, Granit Xhaka has turned down a move to Chelsea to remain at Sunderland. The Swiss and Sunderland captain has reaffirmed his desire to remain with Sunderland and lead them into Europe. Sunderland always said he was unavailable for transfer, despite his relationship with Xabi Alonso, and the 33-year-old's relationship with the Sunderland fans played a big part in his decision. That is grade A horse shit. That is absolute fertiliser, that stuff. Honestly, his relationship with the Sunderland fans played a big part. Hey, if you believe that, you'll believe anything. If you believe that, I've got some magic beans for you. This charming Dan, I never got the hype for Pogba, and he seems like a prick. I mean, I don't know about that. I don't know about him, the latter part. I don't know the guy, but I have to say, as a footballer, I thought he was very, very one-dimensional. More dollar signs, more like one way to bump up the wages. Yeah, yeah, he'll probably get a new deal. Probably get a new deal, and good luck to him. Fernando Torres was world-class at Liverpool. He was for a spell, yeah. Here we go. Free kick for Australia. O'Neill with the right foot to swing it in. Oh, he's put it in quite flat to the far post. Sutar header. Ball falls. Edge of the box. Bit of a scrappy end to this game. I think we might be staying for extra time here, folks, to be honest. Header. Straight at the keeper. And we've got a player down in the penalty area. It was Sutar who went for it. Nothing wrong with that. Why are they all surrounding the ref here now? Oh, he's gone for the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. He's gone for the ball. Yeah, come on. You can't have that. There's nothing wrong with that. Mo Salah had the most unsuccessful touches of any player in the first half against Australia. 3. Touched the ball 3 times and every time he lost it. And to be fair, he's done well there. That's really good play from Salah. Really, really good play. Jordan says, how much did Liverpool get for Torres off Chelsea? Wasn't it like 50? And he was terrible. I mean, Chelsea fans quite liked Fernando Torres. He ended up becoming a bit of a cult figure there, but he was never the same player. We did rip him off. 50 million back then. Now it would have been like 130, 140 million now. Timbo says, Key, how would you rank Spurs, Villa, Everton in club size? Villa, Spurs, Everton. Yeah. Villa, Spurs, Everton. Everton's not. You can't. Everton haven't won anything for 30 years, and Spurs have, and Villa have in the last couple of years. Villa and Spurs have won European trophies in the last couple of years. So, yeah, I've got to say, I think you've got to give Villa and Spurs quite comfortably. They've been in the Champions League regularly, the pair of them. You know, if you're a player now, even if you just look at recent success, if you're a player and you've got a straight choice between Everton, Villa or Spurs, you're kind of immediately going, like, Everton, let's just move Everton out of that equation. It's only going to be between Villa and Spurs, isn't it? No one's choosing Everton over Villa or Spurs. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. It's true. No, it is true, Shell. It is. And I like Everton. I really do. If given them a rival, I actually have a bit of a soft spot for Everton. Because, as you know, my granddad supported Everton. I've no problem with Everton. But they're not. Come on. They're not as big as Villa or Spurs. They're not. They're absolutely not. Everton 9 titles. I mean, what good's that, mate? What good does 9 titles matter? If you're a good footballer now, you're not pointing, oh, well, we won 9 titles 50 years ago. Oh, did you? Great. Brilliant. I'll move you out the way. Timbo, I'd go Spurs, Villa, Everton. 6 of Villa's leagues came before 1910. Spurs are a bigger worldwide club probably and have more trophies just about, I think. Spurs probably got a bit more pull than Villa at the minute, but Unai Emery, I think, might just sway that. Yeah, Villa and Spurs, it is quite close, but Spurs and Everton and Villa and Everton isn't. That's not close at all. Callum, you said bigger club, that includes history. Yeah, all right, even if we say it includes history, Callum, even if it includes history, what percentage are you weighting just to history? If it includes history, it's one part of it. It's not the entire piece. Another bit of who's the bigger club is what pull they have. And Everton do not have a better pull than Villa or Spurs. It's also about recent success. They don't have recent success over Villa or Spurs. They're the two things that matter more. I don't think any player in a negotiation, you know, if they're joining a club, they're not looking and going, oh, hey, well, look at that. They won a few titles in 1913. Couple of titles pre-war. Good club. Good club, that. Do you reckon Granit Xhaka looked up Sunderland's history when he signed him? He couldn't give a toss. Couldn't give a monkeys. Granit Xhaka didn't sign for Sunderland based on their history. And he didn't re-sign and reject Chelsea because of his relationship with the fans. If you believe that, like I said, I've got some magic beans for you. Callum says we pulled Grealish over Spurs. Yeah, but he was also living in the Northwest. I think that's another thing. I don't think Grealish was necessarily. That's not quite the same thing. I think being in the Northwest was probably a much bigger factor for Grealish. Terry says, Tottenham, do you bring in money from concerts and Formula 1 track things? And Rob says 99% of the time it's who'll pay the most. Oh, that's a cynical way of looking at things, but I guess you're right with some players for sure. City of Northville, that's a problem. If you give Salah a lesser role, he'll have a tantrum. Well, he's not done anything today. Done absolutely nothing. Ian, how's it going? Hope your family's well. Cheers, mate. You too. Lots of love. Adam, where would you rank David Ginola for Spurs? One of their all-time greats or not? In my lifetime, yeah, I'd put... If I was doing an all-time Spurs 11, I don't think he would be in it, but I think he would be on the bench. I think Bale and Son probably take those 2 wing positions, but yeah, David Ginola would be on the bench. Jordan says, we're a massive pull to players who love a bit of pottery, Stoke. Oh, Australia! Nearly! Just off the line! Strike! Oh, I'll tell you what. The Pharaohs hanging on a little bit here. Whipped in again. Lovely ball. Keeper comes out. Shabir punches it away. Luke says, Liverpool didn't win a league for 30 years. City have won so many leagues recently. And I would have... a discussion with you about that in terms of pull. You know, I think Manchester City probably do have better recent success than Liverpool. There's no doubt about that. But this is why I said it's multifaceted, isn't it? It's not just one thing. Like, it's not just one thing that a player looks at and goes, who's the bigger club? You look at a few things. You look at facilities. You look at recent success. You look at historical success. You look at all these different, how much are they going to pay? All these different things. And it's all in there. I think Everton fans would quite like you to believe that the historical success matters more than anything else, though. Luke says, you won most of them 40 years ago, so I'm looking for consistency if Chelsea are bigger than Arsenal. Yeah, we won most of them 40 years ago, but we also won a lot recently. We've been in 3 Champions League finals in the last 6 or 7 years, mate. We've won 2 league titles in the same period. We've won everything there is to win pretty much in the last 7 or 8 years. So yeah, recency bias. It's not about it's not like saying it's not the same as Everton, is it? It's not the same as Everton. It's also not the same as Arsenal. Arsenal have only won a league title once in 22 years, and they've never won a European Cup. If you compare in that same exact span what Arsenal have versus what Chelsea have, it's miles apart. Absolutely miles apart. Clement says, why can't we give stars to the players? Well, you can if you want. You look at individual merch transactions and say, oh, wow, yeah, this is the biggest club. Yeah, I was going to say, I am absolutely sure that when Ederson from Atalanta sat down with Manchester United this summer and they said to him, we've got this whole idea for you, we think we're going to fit you. Hang on a minute, just wait a second there, Michael. How many shirts did you lads sell in Singapore? Because that's the key factor at play here. Callum says, 1 title in your best era. What's our best? We've won 2. What are you talking about? We've won 2. Look at Chelsea today, though, and they cheated. That's true. Like I said, I agree. Arsenal are the more likeable team. The more likeable club. 5 minutes of added on time, just as there was at the end of the first half. We got 5 minutes added on at the end of the second. And it's an Egypt corner. Callum, last 40 years, Everton 1 title, Liverpool 2. Callum, you're not being serious, mate. It's pointless having the discussion with you. I don't think anyone's taking you serious on that one. Everton are bigger than Liverpool. Have a day off, Callum. Michael Hall says Australia have been much better. I think in the second half, you're right. Yeah, I think first half, Egypt probably were the better team. But second half, yeah, Egypt have been a bit all over the place. They should have scored, though, shouldn't they? 10 seconds into the second half, Marmoush missed an absolute sitter. Australia clear it away, that's better. Adam says, who does everyone think will win the Golden Boot at the World Cup? Messi or Mbappe? It's got to be one of the two in my eyes. I'm going for Oyarzabal. I'm saying Spain are going to win it, and I'm backing my mate Oyarzabal. He's on 4 at the minute. He's not a million miles behind him. I think Norway's probably going to be going out sooner rather than later, and I think Argentina will too. Messi might stick a hat-trick past Cape Verde tonight just to secure it. That's the only real problem, I guess. Everton defo have the bigger women. I've seen them. God. Got a good women's side, Everton. Very good women's side. Better than Liverpool, anyway. We always lose the Merseyside derby. I said it too, K. Yazabal's just going to randomly pop up in there and win it. He's doing well, isn't he? Egypt down the right-hand side. Australia clear it away. We've got 3 minutes left at the end of the second half. It looks like we're going to go to extra time and maybe penalties. That's got to be a corner, ref, surely. It is. Corner to Egypt. Needlessly given away there from Isaac Toure. Isaac, is it Isaac Toure? It's Mohamed Toure, isn't it? Is it Mohamed Isaac Toure? Ishak Toure. Plays for Norwich. Very, very good player. Here we go. Mohamed Salah corner. 2.5 minutes left. Egypt Australia tend to be better off set pieces. You'd imagine they'll dominate in the air on this one. Yeah, and they do. Probably the most physical side in the tournament, you would imagine. Australia. Salah whips it in. Wonderful ball. Oh, what a save! That was the chance. That was the chance. That was it. Huge moment. Unbelievable effort, that. It was Rabia who got forward. An unbelievable cross from Mohamed Salah. You can't knock him. That's an unbelievable ball in. Whipped him first time. Curling towards goal. And Rabia gets his head on it. And what a save that is from Patrick Beach. Here's Salah. Shot on target. Young Patrick Beach of Melbourne City. He's only 22, the keeper. Fabulous save, that. I think we are 60 seconds left. It's probably going to go to extra time and pens. Butch Jonah, is Salah on? He is, yes. Mo Salah is on the pitch. Not really doing a whole lot, though, I've got to be honest. He's just had a shot on target, but he's not been brilliant today, Mo Salah. Who does he play for? He plays for Melbourne City. Used to play for the Central Coast Mariners in the Aussie A-League. He's only 22. Still quite a young player for a goalkeeper. Keepers don't usually start regularly until they're maybe in their mid-20s. This charming Dan says, Key, you watch a good bit of La Liga. Do you not know much about Oscar Mingueza? Is he any good? Keep seeing him linked to us and a bunch of other clubs. How old is Mingueza now? How old is he? He's got to be... Must be in his late. Yeah, I mean, he's 27. He's a good player. He's a very, very good player. I'm not sure. Does Sunderland really need another right back? You've got Geertruider's not signed, has he? Strike! Oh, that was the chance! There's another chance. I tell you what, Egypt have, at the very end here, just sort of come alive. Oh, I tell you what, unbelievable block at the end, and it is full time. It's going to go to extra time, this one. Yeah, Oscar Mingueza, he's good, mate. He tends to play similar to, I guess, how Geertruida played for you. Can kind of play centre-back and right-back. He's all right, but it depends how much you're going to pay for him. I've not heard any links about that, but he's a good player. Very good player. Shea, he's got to score that. Not even a brilliant save. And Connor says, is this World Cup showcasing world-class keepers? The amount of crazy saves in this tournament has been nothing but brilliant. Yeah, I've got to say, that's probably been the one standout thing about this World Cup. We've had a lot of unbelievable saves, and unbelievable games from keepers as well. Look at that. He's going completely the wrong way there. Totally wrong-footed. Yeah, he's going to his right, and he reaches back to his left. Lovely save, that from Beach. Christian Caraballo, hey Key, it's been a while. Currently 105 F here in Long Island, New York. Stay hydrated. More than welcome to come to my pool party tomorrow for 4th of July when the Yanks became independent. That'll be quite a commute, that, mate, to get there for 4th of July pool party. As much as I'd love to, somehow I'll have to charge my DeLorean up. It's not just about being a right back. He's versatile. No, that's true. Yeah, he can play centre back too. A little bit like Joe Gomez for us. He's a free agent. Oh, well, then if he's a free agent, then that's a great deal then. I would imagine more teams would have been in for Mingueza then. 27 years of age and he's free. He's a Spanish international. That's a great signing then. Yeah, that's a fabulous signing if Sunderland pull him off on a free. If Sunderland can secure that deal on a free, let me just rephrase that last bit. Ronaldo couldn't find a Champions League club. Why would Salah be able to at the same ability level as Ronaldo was back then and a similar salary? Do you think that's... Hang on a minute. Do you think Ronaldo couldn't find a Champions League club? I have to disagree with that. I think Salah will. I'm almost certain Mo Salah will join a top European club. Ta-ra, George. I'll have a shandy key, please. How have Egypt not won it, says Callum? Well, it's going to be extra time. We've got another 30 minutes. You do what for free? Not guilty. Not guilty, Your Honour. Well, hey, as soon as this game finishes, we're pretty much straight into Argentina and Cape Verde. Good to see you, Rachel. Why are they pulling him off? I know it's Sunderland, but come on, Key. I mean, it had to be done. Put your money away, Dan. City of Northville, that was the narrative, that he was looking for a top club. No one would take him, so he went to Saudi. I thought he was trying to just kind of cash in at the very, very end. Maybe there was a lack of top available options, and it was probably best that he went to Saudi when he did. Because, like, I don't see Mo Salah signing for, like, a Fenerbahce or a Galatasaray. He's too good. And it doesn't look as good on his CV. I think he would much prefer Mo Salah to probably go to Saudi in that case. But I still think there will be teams that will look at Mo Salah and think, look at that. Egypt probably should have won this game at the end there, and it came from one bit of quality from Mo Salah. I think there's a very good chance we see Salah go to Real Madrid. Now we know what you did in Amsterdam. I'm not even responding to that filth. Roshan, thoughts on Klopp managing the German national team? Good to see you, Roshan, mate. Good to see you. I would say it's a very, very Klopp move. He said he was very tired. He didn't want to do club football anymore. He said that Liverpool was probably his last job. If he ever was going to come out of retirement and manage again, it was probably only ever going to be a German national team job where you're really only working for not even a third of the year, let's be honest. Unless there's an international tournament, you're only really meeting up with the players once every couple of months, once every 3 months, and the rest of the time, you're travelling around Europe watching your team play football. It's quite a nice life. Klopp's settled in Spain, he's happy in Spain, he's living life in Spain and loving it. Rachel Cook, are we going into extra time, guys? We are indeed, yeah. Vinny, Mbappe, Salah, Bellingham, Silva, Bouadi would be dirty. Yeah, they're not getting all them. Certainly not getting all them. C. Maka says, I expect Beach to get picked up by a European team this summer. Well, I mean, he's like I said, he's still only young. He's playing for the he's playing for Melbourne City. Might even be one. Obviously, that's a City feeder club, isn't it? They play. They do friendlies with Manchester City occasionally, don't they? But yeah, extra time coming up. And 2 changes for Australia, I think. Mabil's come on. Who else have they brought on? Torre came on for Irankunda, Hrustic for Volpato and Truin for Boss. And we've just seen Mabil and Ocon Engstler come on. Son of Paul Ocon. See, Maka, he's been unreal all tournament for us. He's still young, isn't he? Yeah, he's still a very young man. But he's done very well there. Made a couple of very big saves to keep Australia in the tie in the tournament. Timbo, that's an old reference. Yeah, I was going to say, mate, probably wise not to keep mentioning it because there's only a select number of people who actually know what that means. And if you keep mentioning it, inevitably someone's going to be like, ah, yeah, 2 and 2 together. So I would say probably don't mention it as much. Sarah says, Rachel, what football team do you support? She's, didn't she say earlier? She's an Aussie. Patrick Beach is the flipping GOAT. Better than Noir, Casillas, any goalkeeper ever. Tell us what you really think. Callum says, when you move to Spain, will you get a Spain passport and start supporting them in the World Cup? No. No, I won't. Timbo, maybe don't say half the stuff you've said in your lives then. I know, but there's appropriate context with them. If you mention it every 5 minutes, then inevitably there's going to be some divvy who looks at it and goes, who's not saying it out of having a laugh. There's going to be the occasional divvy who takes it seriously. Roshant Key, which team do you support in this World Cup? Curaçao. Due to my Curaçao roots. Egypt down the left-hand side. Here's Trezeguet. Mo Salah. Disappointed, I've got to say, though, in Australia's approach since they equalised. I thought they would really, really have a go, like a really good go. Egypt whipped in, near post, good chance. Salah, oh, over the bar. Probably should work the keeper there. It's a good bit of football. Smashed over the bar from Mo Salah 3 minutes into the first half of extra time. Salah to Wigan Warriors, here we go. 2 points for Wigan. Okay, goal kick for the Socceroos. Beach knocks it long. It's a tactic they've employed an awful lot, Australia. They always seem to punt it to the right-hand side of the halfway line. I'm assuming that's where their tallest player is. Here's Torre. Oh, that's a dive, ref. That's a dive. You've got to stop giving them. You've got to stop giving them. Ashore has just completely and utterly dove on the floor. I hate that. Absolutely hate that. Total dive. Weird degree, safe key, hope you're well. You too, mate, good to see you. They can't really have a good goal. This is who they are, defensively organised and counter. And Rachel says the club I support are Man United and Barcelona. Fair enough. Teaching Tony, love you, Key. Just wanted to note I've got 4-44 on Egypt, Argentina and Ghana to advance. Nice. Egypt based in Cleveland, Ohio, near me. Sick of this diving too, says Montesut. It was a clear dive, that wasn't it? I wasn't being harsh. That was a dive. Johnny says, I need either team to score as early as possible so that most Americans who watch the sport for the first time think the game is over after the first goal in extra time. If you know, you know. Butch Jonah says, the ruse on penalties. It's absolutely nailed on for penalties, this, isn't it? It's going to be a penalty shootout, for sure. For absolute sure. Teaching Tony, Ecuador was in Columbus and we were sad to see them go. Well, the Egyptians were fighting with the police, weren't they, the other day? They was doing there was a video of Mo Salah and a few of the other Egyptian players. They were signing some autographs and some shirts for some young fans, and a few police got involved, and there seemed to be a bit of a scuffle between the Egyptian coaching staff and local US police. City of Northfield, we're going to have to do a few Los Blancos matches this season. The drama's going to be too good. Oh, we'll do it, yeah. We're going to be covering a diverse number of games throughout the season, of course. Plenty of Real Madrid and Barca games. Let's see if Mourinho has a scrap with Hansi Flick. I wouldn't rule it out. Free kick. Rabia brings down Jackson Irvine, I think, there. Under the Floodlight says, England game time has been moved to Sunday, 7 p.m. That's better, isn't it? It's better for us. Probably better for us. Connor says, this would have never happened if Egypt had played the tour guides from the pyramids. The Aussies would never leave their site. Irvine's having the best game of all time, by the way. He has done well in the middle of the park. Yeah. He has done well. They've took off their entire front three. And O'Neill and Boss either side of him. Here's Torre, Australia in the penalty area. One of the first forays forward. That's got to be a free kick. No. Up he gets. Not having it. Get up, B-Hitch. Get up, B-Hitch. Ooh, I tell you what, that might have been a free kick, that. Sarah and the kids, Key, they can watch it. The pubs might not be happy, like. Oh, they will. The pubs will be delighted. Because pubs were having lock-ins. That's what was going to happen in the UK. There was going to be kind of unofficial lock-ins. Like, they have to legally close their door at a certain time. But basically, if you were in, you're in. We're locking the door, and you have to ask to be let out, kind of thing. That happens a lot in the UK. Lock-ins were, you know, if you're doing it, it's unlicensed. The pub was closed. You weren't technically there. Michael, Australia are the stronger team. They just need to go for the winner now. They've got a little bit more in attack. I feel like maybe they're holding back because I actually quite like a lot of the players that they've brought on. I mean, Torre is a wonderfully talented player. We've watched him at Norwich this season. You know, they've got a bit of pace up there as well in Mabil. They've got players that can sort of stretch the opposition. Connor, I do like this tournament, to be fair, and the new time-wasting rule is much better. The amount of wrong decisions given the other way is so stupid. The overrule for the corner is a decent one, though. Egypt, pick it up on the right-hand side here. Driving at the full-back. Lovely play, that. And then a terrible ball. As is so often the case, it feels like. So often we have players able to really get at the full-back, but just unable to produce the goods when they need to. That was Hassan, who plays for Real Oviedo in La Liga. Again, pacey winger, able to get his head down, drive at the full-back, but just can't really produce the quality that he needs to in the final third. It's Mr. Alchamari, Australia always make it tough for everyone in the knockout stages. Just look at Argentina in 2022. Or Italy's last-minute penalty 2006. Yeah, I remember that Italy one. Egypt down the right-hand side, knocked into the box. And it's going to go out for a throw-in on the far side. So easy for the Aussies to defend this. Too predictable. Inevitable this is extra time and pens in it. I mean, well, inevitable that it's pens. I just can't see any team scoring. They both look absolutely shagged. They look knackered. Both teams look exhausted. That was a foul throw. He's not going to give it. Egypt win it back. That's not a free kick. I can't believe he's given a free kick for that. Oh, my God. He's giving Egypt everything, this ref. Here's Hassan. At B-Hitch. He's getting doubled up on now. Terrible ball. Salah nowhere near it. Both teams look like they'll be out next round either way. Yeah. In the nicest possible way. That would still be okay. Like, I don't think you can say the World Cup is only a success if you win it. I mean, for Australia and Egypt in particular, you would have to say this is already a success, isn't it? I mean, Australia always qualify for the World Cup. I mean, they've qualified for the last 6. They tend to dominate that Oceania qualifying but never particularly get through to the knockout stages, or at least not very often in those 6 games. Irvine, 125th minute winner. Just watch, says Jerry. This charming Dan says the pub staff will be thrilled to bits. They don't have to do that shift anymore. I know I would. I'd have thrown a sickie. Australia playing for pens, says Adam. I would say so. I think both teams are to some extent. Egypt, probably the more likely to score in extra time. Australia haven't got any out ball. They're not interested. They're sitting back. They're very organised. They're not even trying to keep hold of the ball. They're just hoofing it away. Egypt strike. Miles wide. Ashore. He scored a goal similar to that earlier in the tournament. It's amazing how bad the Asia region is. 13 minutes on the clock. Connor, thank God I'm a neutral fan in this game. Well, it's a great couple of goals, but it's not been a vintage knockout tie. This has Aussie to win on pens all over it. I think if I had to throw my weight behind, my substantial weight behind one of these teams, it probably would be Australia. Just because Australia don't have a Liverpool player in their side that was mega unprofessional and kind of ruined our season last year. So I'd slightly lean towards the Aussies. Jerry says Australia have been the better side for me. By what metric? I think Egypt have had the better chances. I mean, if you look at the stats, I don't know whether stats mean an awful lot to you, but Egypt are 1.27 to 0.59 XG. They've had nearly 60% possession to Australia's 42. Egypt have had 3 shots on target to Australia's 1. That's the only chance they've had. They've scored off it, Australia. And Egypt have had 3 big chances as well. You've got to think they nearly scored just before the end of the game. And right after half time, Marmoush he's the absolute sitter. Egypt, I think, have undeniably been the better team today. But yeah, I'd agree with Rob. Both teams have been quite poor. Hassan has just been booked. Connor, right, Key, I know this is a tavern, but when are we getting a karaoke night? Get some Sweet Caroline on the go. I mean, I've given you it's been a few little nuggets of songs during watch-alongs recently. Who do you think wants the pens more, Mr. Al-Shamari? It's Australia, I think. Australia would be quite happy with penalties at this point if you offered it to them. Egypt, I think, probably still harbour some hopes of really going and winning it in extra time. No pens allowed, says Rachel. It'll be too stressful. Well, half-time at the end of the first half of extra time. 15 minutes left for one of these teams in this tournament. Maybe a touch more with penalties. And there is a sub. There is another sub coming on. Number 22 off. Number 9 coming on. Eh? That can't be right. Or maybe it is. Abdel Karim. I think it is. The young Barca centre-forward, Hamza Abdel Karim. They signed him from Al Ahly. I think he's come on now. Yeah, he has. Marmoush off. Hamza Abdel Karim, the young 18-year-old Barcelona centre-forward. He's the young bright hope of Egyptian football, this lad. He's not had too much in the way of international minutes. Played about 15 minutes in each of the games in the group stages, but that's about it. Shahid, Key, do something to stop us falling asleep. I mean, you're asking for a lot here. You're really asking for a lot. Something about bald Dutch managers in the Prem hasn't been working out recently. You are aware that the last bald Dutch manager won the Premier League, right? Such a mad... honestly, I don't know how anyone can categorise Arne Slot as a failed manager. It's just a madness to me. He literally won the Premier League. He got Liverpool back in the Champions League quarter-finals. It's our first Champions League quarter-final since 2022. And we were knocked out by the eventual winners. We got knocked out in the FA Cup by the eventual winners. He was unbelievable. An exceptional manager. Stupid to sack him. Did a very, very good job with Liverpool. And unfortunately, I think we'll find out next season that, you know, I think it wasn't actually Arne Slot that was the problem. I think Liverpool will be struggling next season as well. This game needs a youngster, says Butch Jonah. Well, you have got a youngster now. You've got Hamza Abdel Karim. 9 on his shirt. 18 years of age since... well, he's only been at Barca, I think, for a few months. He's not played for them yet. But bright young talent. Far post, Australia header, and it's gone behind for the goal kick. Butch Jonas, Slot will have his revenge. He'll manage again in the Prem. I'm sure he will. I hope he doesn't, but I think he will manage in the Prem. Rachel, I want Salah to do something. City of North Hill, Slot should have waited for the Prem job. Well, he's not taken the job yet, has he? I know there's links to the Netherlands job, but it wouldn't surprise me if Arne Slot does wait around and maybe take a Premier League job, because there will be one forthcoming. Inevitably, there'll be a new managerial position available. I would imagine maybe even 3 or 4 available before Christmas. Newcastle almost certainly to move Eddie Howe on. Wouldn't surprise me at all if Oliver Glasner's sacked by Marinakis. You wouldn't be surprised to see Moyes move on. Slot to Everton seems so likely. Your fans, like Anfield 90s fans, hated on him. I mean, again, they hated on him. And it was bang out of order. It's an absolute stain on Liverpool's fan base, the way that Arne Slot was treated. An absolute stain. Shay says it was shocking how the Liverpool fans treated Slot. Quite mad, actually, if you look back. Correct? No, it was. Absolutely. It's an absolute stain. I'm ashamed of how our fans treated Arne Slot. Absolutely ashamed by it. Callum, I'd love him at Everton. I mean, I don't think... I think he's got bigger ambitions than Everton, in fairness, Callum. He's a better manager than Everton. But I bet you would love him. It'll be Man U and then he'll hate him then. I mean, I was going to say, if he goes to United or Everton, then yeah, I would, of course, loathe him. Or Chelsea. I'd loathe him at Chelsea as well. I don't think there's many... I'd actually quite like to see him go and do what like Unai Emery's done at Villa. Because I think he would. I think if you gave Arne Slot like the Spurs job or the Newcastle job or the Villa job when Emery goes, I think he'd do wonderfully well. He would thrive. Shahid, your feelings very strong on this matter, Key. Yeah, it is. It is. It's objectively, we were really, really disgraceful to him. Jerry, I recently found out Arteta speaks 7 languages. He's more busy with Duolingo than tactics, I guess. Callum, why? You have family members that liked Everton. Why do you hate us? You're the bigger club. It's meant to be the opposite. It's not really hate. It's just friendly rivalry, innit? Whereas I think Everton actually do hate Liverpool because you're very, very bitter. I don't hate Everton. It's more pity. I feel really sorry for Everton fans because they've literally been given the roughest ride of any fan base. This charming Dan, I actually like Slot. Seemed like a good manager and he handled Salah's petulant outbursts. Plural. Yeah, correct. Plural. And there's still, again, it always tells you, there's a subsection of Liverpool fans and football fans in general that just sided with Mo Salah on that. Nonsense. Honestly, if you side with Mo Salah on that, you wouldn't want that player for your club, I promise you. He was an absolute shitbag, Mo Salah. Behaved appallingly. Absolutely appallingly. Joe, I wouldn't mind Slot at Newcastle, but we stick by how he got dealt a bad set of cards last season. And that's fine as well. I respect that. I want to see clubs sticking by their managers. I want to see a culture of clubs sticking by their managers. And that goes for every club. Stick by your manager. Don't be the whole sacking and all that stuff. All that does is just feed into us as football fans constantly wanting change. This player hasn't had an amazing season. All right, get rid of him then. People forget that Cristiano Ronaldo wasn't brilliant at Man United at the start. He didn't waltz in and was fantastic. There was a fair few doubts about Ronaldo when he first went to United. He wasn't amazing. There's plenty of people saying, fucking hell, he's hard working. I mean, there's potential there, there's ability, but Jesus Christ, he gives the ball away and he dives a lot and he hasn't really got an end product. He's all step-overs and all this sort of stuff. No one would have said Ronaldo would have gone on and been the best player in the world. No one. Ibra, is the clock wrong? Don't know, actually. What's the clock on? 113 minutes. Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? I'll change the clock. Hang on. Let me change it. Manual clock. We're on extra time, second half, and we are on... Strike! Oh, over the bar. Unlucky. $111. There you go. That should be right. There you go. Clock's right now. Ball whipped in. Egypt header. Australia get it away. Sarah says, where's Twist? I haven't seen him in ages. To be honest, mate, I think he'll probably come back for the start of the season. There'll be a lot of people who we've not seen in a really long time who will just pop their head up once the new Premier League season starts. This charming Dan, I hate players that come out like Salah did, leave that shit in the dressing room. No one else needs to hear it. Yeah. He's gone out for a goal kick. Poor from Egypt. 8 minutes to go. So this one finishes, as it stands, it's looking like this one's going to finish about maybe 9:45 UK time. And then the Argentina-Cape Verde game will start maybe 45 minutes later. So 10:45 PM start for that one. Here's Salah, what a run. Mo Salah. That's the first bit of Mo Salah we've actually seen at this tournament, to be honest. Drove at the fullback. And it is going to be a corner for Egypt. Well done there, Mo Salah. This match has been minging. Well, listen. It's a corner kick. We might get a late goal here. I actually want penalties at this point. Salah with a dreadful corner. That's unforgivable, that. I'm sorry. If you have a corner and you're the corner taker and you hit the first man, I'd dock you a week's wages. I would immediately fine you a week's wages. If you can't beat the first man on a corner, that is unforgivable. Here's Torre. Good chance here on the counter. Look at that. It's like a gazelle through the middle. Or a wallaby, a springbok. Something a bit more Australian themed. Jerry says, have you ever watched the Gillingham game? Yes, of course. We have watched the Gillingham. Watched a couple of Gillingham games, actually. Yeah. We covered loads of League One, League Two, National League last season. La Liga, Premier League. Whenever the Premier League wasn't on, invariably, yeah, we were doing Champions League, Europa League, Conference League watch-alongs, and when those weren't on, we were doing League One, League Two, Championship, National League, maybe the occasional European game, obviously Real Madrid, Barcelona. Did a couple of rogue European games like Midtjylland and a few others. Eddie says, Key, would you like Stefan Bajcetic to stay at Liverpool? I think he needs to go for his own sake. I like him. He's such a wonderful young player, but he's also been really injury prone. And I think he just desperately... Oh, what a run this is. Hassan, great tackle from the Aussies. Very, very important tackle that. Who was it who'd got the last tackle in there? Lovely, lovely play from Hassan, flying down that left-hand side. And... I think it was Harrington, wasn't it? Harrington gets the touch. Big Shoe says, football expert here telling Salah how to play. Not how to play, just to not, beat the first man at the first corner, mate. I think that's pretty universal, isn't it? He's done it again there. Do you think you need to be a football expert to say that? I've watched Salah all season. Believe me, there was 40-odd thousand Liverpool fans every single week telling you. Telling Salah he was playing awful. Barstool Auburn, good to see you. First time watching of your channel. Thanks for commenting, mate. Really appreciate that. Watching from the US. Who's your top 5 to win the World Cup? So I said Spain before the tournament, and I'm still sticking with Spain. I think after that, you did have to say France is at the very worst second favourites. I think it's hard to argue that France aren't second favourite. After that, I think the winner will be either France or Spain. I don't see anyone else winning it. I don't think Argentina can. I don't think Brazil can. I certainly don't think England can. It might be, if it's not going to be France or Spain, I think it might be one of the, let's say, quote unquote, the dark horses. Maybe like a Mexico, a USA, a Norway. Mexico have been incredible. The US have been great to watch. I don't personally see Portugal winning it. I think Colombia could be dark horses. I've really enjoyed watching Colombia this tournament. I think Colombia could be an outside chance. So, yeah, there's probably a lot to like about a lot of the teams. I don't fancy Ghana or Canada or Morocco. Morocco had a really good AFCON. Probably didn't deserve to win the AFCON in the end. We watched that final. Yeah, I don't see really any hope for Paraguay or Belgium. Belgium were god awful for the most of that Senegal game. But good to see you, mate. Really good to see you. Who do you support, by the way? Who's your club side when you're not watching international football? Connor says, Key, you can't have an opinion if you haven't got the credentials behind you. Well, yeah. Yeah. You have to be a Premier League footballer to criticise Mo Salah. Here we go. Free kick for the Aussies. Strike on goal. Terrible free kick, and it goes out for the throw-in. You earned a new sub. Hey, good lad. There you go. We're one step closer. I actually only launched this channel in May, mate. For what it's worth, I had a previous channel last season, Premier League Dad, 23,000 subscribers. And we launched the Matchday Tavern specifically just before the World Cup. So we watched 500 games last year in 2025. At least one game every day. That's kind of our rule on this channel. So we cover all sorts of leagues. If you enjoy watch-alongs, if you enjoy having a natter with different fans from different clubs in the chat, we've got Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, United fans, Arsenal fans, Barcelona fans, all sorts of fans. And it gets a little bit tasty in the chat. But if you enjoy a natter and a watch-along while you're watching the football, it's a good place to be. You've got good people here. Very good people. Mr. Al-Shamari, I think Egypt are going to do Belgium here. Or are going to do a Belgium here. Is that what you were saying? Rachel Cook, are Morocco out? They're not. No, they play Canada. They play one of the hosts. Oh, I don't like this. How do the Aussies in the chat feel about this? They are changing the goalkeeper before a penalty shootout. I don't like that. To quote Graham Taylor, do I not like that? They have taken off the young Patrick Beach, 22 years of age. He's had a wonderful game. He's probably kept Australia in the tournament. And he's had a couple of very good games. And they've taken him off for the more experienced Matt Ryan. Never a fan of that. Never, ever a fan of that. Chelsea did that in a League Cup final against Liverpool. And it never quite worked out how they wanted it. Bad idea, says Butch Jonah. I mean, to be honest, I think privately, no goalkeeper really enjoys a penalty shootout, do they? Not many goalkeepers enjoy it because, well, I guess, I mean, it depends. I guess if you're a goalkeeper, you kind of can't lose, can you? Because if your team goes out, well, no one's going to blame the goalkeeper. But if you save a penalty, you're like a hero. It worked for the Netherlands, that's all I can remember. It does increasingly happen in football, doesn't it? That you've got a goalkeeper who's like a penalty expert. Liverpool had Quiveen Kelleher, our backup goalkeeper. He was seen as a bit of a penalty expert for a while. Kepa in the EFL Cup final. Callum says, can you imagine if Courtois does a 2022 Champions League final and carries Belgium all the way to the final? Wouldn't be a surprise. Teams now starting to make changes specifically for penalties. Marwan Attia has come off. He's the deep-lying midfielder for Egypt. Yeah, he's had a good game, Attia, but he's come off for Saber, Mahmoud Saber, who plays for Z. Another team in the Egyptian Premier League. Plenty of teams. Plenty of players who... Oh, big chance. Must be. Oh, Torre. That was the moment there. There's only 1 minute of added on time here. And I think that might be full time. There's 2 players down in the box. Yeah. 2 players down. That might be it, you know. Soldier says, stressful ain't fun. They're angry. Matt Ryan is very experienced, though. He is. Listen, I'm not knocking Matt Ryan. I'm just saying I don't love that idea because it does kind of... At some point, Matt Beach is only 22, right? He's only 22. At some point in his career, he's going to have to face a penalty shootout. And I think that plants the seed that, you know, we're not quite confident with you, mate. We're not quite confident with you. We're going to put this fella in the net. Yeah, I'm not sure I like that. Has the referee blown up yet? I don't think he has. We've still got maybe another 30 seconds or so. But we are about to hit penalties for sure. No, he has. He's blown up. There you go. No more time. Penalties it is. Penalties. Yo, right. We've got maybe 5 minutes or so. He's doing the sujood. He's praying. The Egyptian keeper. Might need to pray. Montesut. I think Beach had earned the right to keep him on for pens. Well, I would have thought so as well, yeah. Shabir's had a good tournament for Egypt. I'm sure he'll feel confident going into this one. And Montesut, I guess if we win, Popovic looks like a master. Correct. If he does, then yeah, he's looked like an absolute masterstroke. If Australia go out, then he's kind of needlessly dented a young kid's confidence. And maybe the future of Australian football's goalkeeping, you know, you're going to expect that he will be the goalkeeper for Australia going forward for some time. Jerry McCringleberry says, Irvine with the winning penalty, you just watch. Well, listen, there's quite a few of you in the chat. Just while we're waiting, the players are getting their thighs rubbed down. They're getting a bit of last-minute instructions. The players are having a chat with the manager and he's saying, right, which of you fancy it? I need 5 players. Who's volunteering? Who definitely doesn't want one? Who's hiding? Chances are, all of them might have to take one. But these talks are really insightful from the manager, aren't they? Because it tells you where your players are at. There's some players, we've seen it. Look at Arsenal in the Champions League final. Why? Was Gabriel 5th? Why was he in the top 5 penalty takers for Arsenal? There were so many players who could have taken a pen. You want your attackers on it. You want your finishers on it. It always raises a question to me. Whenever a defender is in the first 5 takers, I'm looking at the attackers and going, come on. This is your meat and drink, this. This is where you should be stepping up and saying, I'll take one, Gaffer. I'll have it. It's mine. You can back me. But while I've got you all, while you're in the chat, if you haven't yet, do me a favour. Hit like. Let's do a quick poll. Let's do a quick poll. Hang on. Let's end the poll and let's vote again. Right? Who wins on penalties? Only 2 answers. There you go. Get your answers in the chat. There's your poll. Egypt or Australia. Who wins on pens? Jerry says Zubamendi. Noni could have taken a pen. Only if they're actually good. No reason to let them take the first 5 pens. I mean, listen, there's some defenders who are very good at penalties. Don't get me wrong, but I just always look at the attackers and kind of think, ooh, you should really be stepping up here. Well, 57% saying Australia, 43% Egypt. Hassan, Abdelkarim, Trezeguet, Salah should all be there. City of Northville, over under on Salah missing. Will Salah miss? Yes. Look at that, 50-50 in the chat. Now Egypt taking the lead. Sonic says Egypt to win. Pharaohs are going to win it, says Butch Jonah. Can't call it. It's going to be down that end. It's going to be with the Egypt fans. Mo Salah's won the toss. Now who goes first and second? Ideally, you want to go second. Second usually wins. There you go. All the Sheilas will be cheering on the Roos. Hey, Struth, mate. Salah to miss here, guaranteed. Oh, come on. Popovic looking nervy. It's amazing to think that Egypt, in their entire history at the World Cup, by the way, they were the first ever African nation and the first ever Arab nation to qualify for a World Cup back in 1934. And they're still, going into this tournament, they were still without a win. They'd never won a game at a World Cup before this tournament. It's a mad stat, that, isn't it? Second has that big of an advantage. Second generally wins. Yeah, typically second wins. Right, here we go. Sutar. Here you got a centre-back. First penalty is going to be a centre-back. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? First penalty, centre-back. Look at that. The poll is perfectly aligned. Who wins on penalties? 50-50 in the chat. Nobody. We can't split it. 50% Egypt, 50% Australia. Michael says Australia deserve to go through. Egypt have looked terrible. I think they've been the better side, I'll be honest. But here we go. Harry Sutar, right-footed against Ufa Shabir of Al Ahly. Shabir, he's had a good tournament. Sutar, right-footed. He skied it. Oh, no. He's absolutely skied it. He's Gabriel'd it. What are you doing? Disaster for the Socceroos. The worst way you can start a penalty shootout. And the experienced Leicester City full centre-back has smashed it over the bar. It's a really, really poor start, that one. Right, first up for Egypt is going to be the sub, the one who came on. Mahmoud Sabur of Pyramids. Well, he played for Z last season, but he does play for Pyramids in the Egyptian Premier League. Mahmoud Sabur. It's a very straight run up. Matt Ryan, can he do what he was brought on to? Oh, it's a great pen. He guessed right, Matt Ryan, but it's 1-0. He did guess right, but it's 1-0. No, he's not a defender. He's a midfielder, isn't he? Yeah, he's a midfielder. But it was a good penalty, that. Nearly saved it. Jackson Irvine, right-footed. Good pen. That's a wonderful pen. Sends the keeper the wrong way. Top corner. No chance at all. Excellent penalty from Jackson. The most Australian-looking man in that team by some distance, isn't he? Okay, up next. It's the big centre-back. It's Rabia. Rami Rabia plays for Al Ain in the United Arab Emirates. He had a big chance towards the end of this game to win it for Egypt in normal time. Probably should have scored it as well. Salah with a cross. Rabia with the header. He headed it straight at Patrick Beach, who made a wonderful save in fairness. It's a penalty kick. Right-footed. You can tell he's going for power. This is like Adriano, this one. This is like Pro Evo 99 power. He's going to absolutely lace this one. Sends the keeper the wrong way, and it's there. It's 2-1. 2-1. Egypt have scored both of those now. The Aussies scored one, missed one. Yeah, good pen, that. Very good pen. Next up, I think, is it going to be Torre? Is it Torre? Is it Mabil? Mabil, yeah. Experienced winger. Plays in Spain for Castellon. Our Mabil. Spent much of his career travelling around Europe, Switzerland, Denmark. Now settled in Spain. Right-footed. Up against the keeper. It's a great pen. Great pen. Gives the keeper the eyes. Sends him the wrong way. The Aussies are back level. 2-2. Albeit with an extra pen. How's it going, Nabuish? If you haven't already, while we're watching these pens, do us a favour. Hit like, hit subscribe. We're live throughout the tournament. We're live for Argentina, Cape Verde, right after this game. Here's Mo Salah. What odds on Salah to miss it? He was never very good at penalties at Liverpool. I've got to say, he scored a couple of big ones, the Champions League final being one. But he's out of contract now. He doesn't have a club. He's still fighting for a club, or at least we think. There's rumours of Real Madrid. There's rumours of Bayern Munich. There's rumours of him going back to Serie A, maybe AC Milan, Juve, Inter. This is a huge moment for him. Left-footed. He's missed a couple of very, very big penalties for Liverpool in big moments when we've needed him to step up. Left-footed. Salah v Ryan. Oh, it's a little Panenka. Oh, you cheeky, cheeky devil. Go on, Mo. That's beautiful. Sends him the wrong way. Sat him down. Oh, you cheeky boy. Love that, Mo. Little Panenka. Egypt still on course for the win here. Big set of cojones on Salah. Nerves of steel. Nerves of steel from Mo Salah. Now who's next? Who's next for the Aussies? Oh, it's the young centre-back. Again, we're talking centre-backs. Bloody hell, he's only 18. Lucas Harrington of Colorado Rapids, 18 years of age. Please don't let him be the one to miss. Oh, he's only a baby. Please stick it away, lad. I don't want him to miss. He's 18. Come on, put it away, lad. He skied it. Oh, it's off the crossbar, and that's it, is it? I think that's it. Egypt are through. Oh, no. Oh, it had to be him. It's not even a bad pen. Oh, the young lad. Lucas Harrington. Poor fella. That's a terrible shame. It's not over yet. It's not over. Egypt need to score. It's not over. They need to score. But yeah, as Shay said, shame on whoever let him step forward. I have to agree. If you're letting a young 18-year-old centre-back step forward and you're not taking a penalty, I'm sorry, that's laughable. What's going on with Behic? Where's he? Where's Behic? Why is Sakati not taking a pen? You know, why is Toure not taking a pen? Toure's not taken one yet. The Norwich centre-forward hasn't taken a penalty. Why is he not taking it? Hrustic, Truin, any of them. 18-year-old centre-back taking a penalty is laughable. It's bang out of order. But you know what? Fair play to him. He had the balls to step up and do it. Egypt now to win it. Number 4, Abdel Maguid against Ryan. Scores it. Egypt are through. There you go. Hossam Abdel Maguid from Zamalek puts Egypt through to the next round. And honestly, probably the right result overall. I think Egypt were the better side. They were the better side for me. But young 18-year-old centre-backs taking penalties. What has the World Cup come to? I'm sorry. It's madness to me, that. Absolute madness. Egypt win 4-2 on penalties. They're through. Tears, Jackson Irvine, Sutar, the experienced pros who did miss. Well, Sutar missed. Jackson Irvine didn't, but Sutar with a big miss. And Egypt live to fight another day, and they'll probably face, well, they will face, I'm sure, Argentina in the next round. We're going to be covering that game next. Make sure you've hit like. Make sure you've got your notification bells on. We're going to be doing Argentina v Cape Verde in just under an hour's time. Yeah, just under an hour's time. Egypt will play Argentina, you would imagine, assuming Cape Verde can't pull off a shock. Maybe they will. And it will be Switzerland versus either Colombia or Ghana. And that will complete the round of 16. Disappointing for Australia, though. I mean, they got back into the game. I thought they did well enough to maybe... Well, certainly well enough to take the game to penalties, but it felt like as soon as it got to extra time, they were always hoping and praying for penalties. They looked knackered. Absolutely knackered. The Egypt manager there, Hossam Hassan, almost in tears. He's the current record goal scorer of Egypt, the manager. Mo Salah's only one behind him. But this is a huge moment for him. He's an absolute legend as a player and as a manager for Egypt, Hossam Hassan. And this is a huge moment for them. Right. Folks, lots of love. Really appreciate everyone in the chat. If you've not already, like I said, make sure you've hit the like. Make sure you've subscribed. I will be back in about 1 hour's time. Well, quarter to 11 UK time. 45 minutes. 51 minutes to be precise. I'll be back for Argentina v Cape Verde. Let's see if Messi can get a big head start on the Golden Boot. See you all shortly. Commiserations to Australia. Well done. Congratulations to Egypt. And I'll see you all in just under an hour. Ta-da.